Hello, anyone who's watching. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We are Rolling Thunder D&D. We're here to bring you another episode of our homebrew game in the world of Liodos. And this is apparently our theme tune.
There's nothing apparent about it, Dan. It is.
If anything serious is about to happen, you can just guarantee it's propped up on the playlist. Someone mourning the death of their father or something, like cradling in their arms, and then suddenly...
It's powerful, isn't it?
It's so powerful. Anyway, hello friends, thank you for joining me. Chris, Joey, Charlie, Adam.
Yo!
The usual gang.
Hi!
What's up?
Hello!
Hello. So, I'll do a quick recap, unless anyone has anything to add. Let's have a look. So, what happened last time? You finally set out on your journey, you left Fiazzo, you headed out north up the Dusk Trail, which is a centuries old trade route that spans the continent all the way from the south coast up to the north. For the first time, the group would be spending all of their time together, and each of you are adjusting in your own way to this sort of new paradigm. Along the way, you encountered like a hunter's hut out in the wild, and you had a little interaction. He sold you some fresh meat, which was a bit of a pleasant change from the dry rations you'd been eating. But you quickly moved on, headed on your way, heading up towards the Witherbark Woods. So another day of travel brought you all the way north up to where the path heads east. So the dust trail started heading east, and the path you were following was like a smaller trail heading north up towards the Witherbark Woods. And you follow this smaller road, for not too long, a couple of hours, and you eventually came to a point where you could see in the horizon, looming up, was this sort of like endless wall of trees almost coming up. And on your way there, as the night was encroaching, you found this little gully with like a checkpoint in it. Small squat building with a wall and a gate, and you found it abandoned and thought, it'd be a good defensible place to spend the night. Before you all settled in though, and you all sitting around the campfire making conversation, and Truffle decided to use the zone of truth on his friends. Started asking them some personal questions, which was rustling up some uncomfortable feelings, especially with Lysander and Garland as well. And though Akane and Durindar didn't seem too bothered about the whole thing, they were just kind of like, yeah, that's cool, ask whatever you want. But after that whole thing, the group settled down for the night, and during Akane's first watch, she noticed some shadows approaching in the darkness. She very quickly, with her battle training, raised the alarm. Everyone quickly gathered, and this group of Antican raiders, these like ant-men basically, came and attacked your camp. One of them casting like a huge fog cloud obscuring all your vision. Somehow the group managed to fend them off, and without taking too much of injury in the process. And in the aftermath of the battle, Truffle went and had a quiet word with Lysander and apologised about his actions, and they had a bit of a bonding moment, I think, put it that way. And Garland went and he picked up one of the long swords from the fallen enemies, and he started sort of testing it out and found, quite like this, and he started sparring with Durindar, and they got into this sort of flow, fighting in the firelight as Akane watched on. And I think that's where we called it last time. So you all just had a long rest, turned in for the night at this sort of abandoned checkpoint, and you awake in the morning. It's another warm day out in the sort of this Galanaran sort of landscape where it's sort of quite dry and mountainous behind you, but as you look north towards the Witherbark Woods, you can see sort of tufts of grass and shrubs and trees here and there. And it's sort of like becoming more. There's more life around. You can definitely tell. And obviously, there's the trees of the Witherbark Woods itself ahead in the distance. So, it's morning. What's everyone doing?
I think Lysander would have a little sleep in. He deserves it.
Truffle. So have a lie-in, given the day's events. Not quite ready to be overly social this morning, unlike how he normally is.
I think Agane's going to be doing her morning cantos and her drills in a kind of just kind of not undergarments in the sense of like kind of bra and stuff, but you know, kind of a just cotton gi or whatever that she wears under her armour.
Nice.
Durin got up early and went away from the building and just see if he could try and find something to eat, perhaps some berries or something growing in some of the bushes and stuff to see if there was anything edible.
Okay.
So he's kind of away at the moment, away from the party a little bit.
Okay, Durindar roll survival then, if you're looking for food.
First roll.
Let's roll of the day.
I'd love to.
That's
I'm all over it. Just bear with me.
Stay tense. Will he find nuts? Will he find...
Final. 5.
I mean, Durindar has a quick scan around the area, but it's, you know, there's some trees and sort of shrubs and some tall grass and stuff. He doesn't find anything particular to eat.
Yeah, I think I found somewhere.
Yeah, nothing
That's not
edible.
good. Yeah.
You decide that probably eating some rations would be best for now.
That's quite right. I start to make my way back to the camp, feeling a touch forlorn.
Okay, cool. So, obviously you guys, I assume you will have hitched the horses nearby. We didn't really cover that last time, but I'm going to assume, unless you tell me otherwise, you're hitching the horses nearby.
Oh, Simon's hitched.
Gotta look after those horses, man. They're gonna run off.
Yeah, I think we did hitch him just before just before we went to sleep.
Yeah, you might not remember. We definitely hitched them.
I'm actually in the room. I'm sleeping in.
Oh yeah,
He's
I'm
tiny.
in the building, aren't I?
Yes.
Fuck, I forgot about that.
Simon's in the wardrobe.
Yeah. So I think we've got a long day ahead of us. So I'm just gonna start. Yeah, I'm gonna have a ration and probably drink about half my water skin. Is there a chance for me to fill it up nearby and reboil the water?
Not presently. Perhaps on your way.
Okay. So I'll go drink water skin and then stop, put my arm back on, and check on the others just to see where they are in terms of preparations. I think we need to make a early start actually into the forest.
I think Lysander, when as soon as he wakes up, he'll start ritual casting. Unseen Servant, and when that's done, he'll have the Unseen Servant start putting all of his stuff away and packing the tent down.
It's pretty handy to have.
It's very handy, especially for a lazy boy like Lysander.
Got rid of Jenkins, now he's got an invisible helper.
Yeah,
Doesn't have to pay.
looks like a ghost Jenkins.
Okay, cool. Anyone else doing anything, or shall we press on?
No, I'm not doing anything. I'm ready to go. I've walked back into the camp empty-handed. I've seen Akane putting on her armor, and looks like it's time to crack on.
Awesome. So, I guess before you do journey forth, it might be just prudent to talk about how we're going to handle your journey through this extremely large open woods. And as I mentioned to Charlie, Durindar knows the place pretty well, like he would have been here before, and he would also probably have told you guys this is like a huge woods, like vast, like the size of England sort of thing, maybe bigger.
Big old forest.
Yeah, and you could be wandering through it for a long time. So it's going to be a bit kind of free form, and you guys can say if you want to be doing something or looking for something or whatever, and I'll be having some random encounters and some set encounters and stuff like that along the way. I decided not to do a hex crawl after my experience with Tomb of Annihilation, which I found to be a bit of a drag. Sorry anyone who's enjoyed it in the past. I don't particularly like that thing, so I just thought I'd be a bit freeform and we'll just kind of hand wave a lot of the travel in that sort of way.
A little bit of jazz.
But feel free at any point to interject with things that you want to be doing.
I'm going to take a bit of clothing from my pack, and I'm going to make some blinkers for Simon. Simon is he's loyal to a fault, but Simon the horse is loyal, but he gets scared. So I'm going to make some little blinkers, blinders, I can't remember what they're called, for Simon, just so he can only look ahead. So if there's anything scary in his periph, so hopefully we're not going to have to, what's Simon's like passive perception.
Yeah. You don't want to get butts and then have truffle on the floor in the middle of a fight.
Exactly. So, and also and I mean I'm going to just give him a rub down in the morning.
How's your animal handling, everyone? By the way.
Not great.
How's -1 strike you?
Like someone who's going to fall off their horse if battle strikes.
Yeah.
I've got a +5 in animal handling.
Oh man, that's good.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, mounted shield combat. Here we come.
Yeah.
But I haven't named my horse though.
Because Simon's so low to the ground, though, surely I'd take less damage if I fall off it.
You won't take any damage. You'll just be like prone, basically.
Embarrassed.
Yeah, damage, ego damage.
All right.
I think. Sorry, Chris.
I'm gonna roll to see my bond. I have a bond, a level 8 bond with Simon at the moment. We're new. We're getting to know each other. He's still not trusting too much, but he's loyal once that trust is earned. So maybe over the adventure, who knows what will happen.
Have you got your own horse bond system that you're using?
Yeah, I'm working out.
That's cool, man. That's what you want to do.
How does the horse bond system work? Does
Everyone's got a horse bond
system. Now. You basically your animal handling is a points-based system. It basically sees during a certain event you can gain points and lose points depending on how you react, how you treat your horse, whether you look over them, whether you water, feed them.
Is this actually a thing that you're looking at right now?
Yeah,
I'll post it in the group chat.
Is that what you're getting at?
I want to get my.
Is this Red Dead Redemption? Good.
I'm Red Dead Redemptioning my Simon.
Good boy.
Anyway,
right.
Carry on.
We play D&D now.
Yeah.
This is
Anyway,
D&D. Didn't you hear? It's about getting random companions and spending ages having special systems for them.
I'm giving Simon. Simon's having half my rations. I'm sharing my rations with.
It's actually quite amazing that no one has got any kind of familiar in this party. It's like a first. Oh, you've got something, don't you?
Half of the spider.
We got a spider.
But it's been pretty low admin so far. You used it like twice, right?
I don't want anyone to know I've got a spider.
The odd fly. Just pop it in there.
Yeah.
Pop it in the box.
Anyway,
If I trust people, I might turn it into something more useful.
Anyway, the other part of travelling is going to be obviously like your, what do you call it, marching order type thing, which I'm going to assume is the same as what I had before, which I think was I think it was like a cannon and Durandar at the front.
Yeah.
And who was at the back? Was it Lysander? Or was it Truffle?
I thought it was Lysander at the back and
Okay.
Truffle there.
I've got too many random pieces of paper. Okay. And the other thing is...
Oh, and Garland was somewhere.
Garland. He'll just be in the middle, hanging around. And the other thing is navigation. And I'm assuming this is probably a job for Durandar, leading the way.
Yes.
And you can use either your survival or your nature to make a roll each day to determine how lost you guys get, or how off the path you guys get, basically. And it'll be things like, specific landmarks that you've seen, following the stars or the position of the sun, like closing your eyes and feeling the wind and stuff like that, helping you. Because everywhere you go, it's just going to be like trees.
Wow. and we're generally on a just north heading, right?
So
Pop out the other side.
yeah, so it's kind of like the Witherbark Woods kind of goes across the border of Velimar and Galanar. So you'll be kind of sort of going through it in a sort of diagonal way and coming out northeast end of it, and that should lead you sort of in a direct route to the Vault of Sil Ora, which is where you are heading to ultimately.
But if it's as big as England, it's going to take us a grand old time.
You got
to get-
horses though, so you know.
I'm assuming it's too thick. Is it too thick to walk to ride them, or are we walking with them?
Yes,
or
so
are
that's
we-
the other thing as well is riding speed.
Yeah.
Like you can go fast, which will mean you're much more likely to get surprised and get lost. You can go slow, which means you'll obviously travel a lot slower, but you won't really have any disadvantages. At normal speed, you're kind of in between the two. But I think it's probably going to be a case of you can't really travel fast because there's so many like vines and like roots and stuff that your horses could trip on and just like break a leg on the first day. So you'll be traveling either normal or slow.
Normal sounds good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
imagine it's going to be. I don't know, it's not even a canter, right? But just.
Oh no, man, we are
Yeah.
rotting.
A
A
trot.
trot, yeah.
A trot.
I think the DMG states it's something like 16 miles a day. I don't know how far it is in miles, so we're just going to hand wave it.
And we're standing right in front of these woods, right?
So you're basically, at this point, you've
Looking
packed up your camp, you're approaching to it, there's grass now appearing, there's trees everywhere, and it's kind of like a line, as you look west and east, and it's just like, it's just a line of trees, basically.
Just
and
outside
there's-
of the forest, the woods.
Yeah, you're like just heading up, and you can see the woods is in front of you, and there's like a path that's leading into it. It's not like just you walk into it and there's no path. There is a path that goes in, so you can follow that. So, if you roll your navigation roll for me now, we'll do it. Get that out of the way.
Okay. 8.
Turn around.
We're going in circles.
I think that's going to reflect to me that it's maybe you're not quite sure whereabouts you're going to be entering. And you're not got your bearings yet, so you're kind of going, let's just head in that direction.
Do I know
and I'll
which
pick
way
it up
we're
later.
facing before we go in?
Yeah, you know that if you're facing the woods coming here, you're basically facing north right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'd be like, okay,
Right.
we need to head sort of in that direction, basically.
Okay. So I guess at this point, if we're right next to the woods and we're about to go in, I turn to the party and I just, you all know that I've been to this area before. There are dangers in the woods.
Ooh, what kind of dangers?
It's a good question. I'll tell you about it. There's a few living beings within the woods. Some dangerous, some not so much. There is a blight on this wood. Some say that the blight is caused by the Lord of the Glade. I've heard stories of the Lord, and he lives in the heart of the woods. I don't know if anyone's ever seen him and lived to tell the tale. But that my understanding is that he's there, and this could be linked to why the plants and the trees are so withered, and the blight seems to spread across the woods itself. I've also know of a benevolent species of plant elves that live in the woods. They're called the Silver. They're generally not dangerous. They keep to themselves. I don't think we have to worry about them. But more worryingly are the awakened plants that live in the woods. They've had some spell or something cast upon them that brings them to life, and they wander the woods, made up of old leaves and twigs and branches and stuff, all kind of muddled together to create these beings. They are very dangerous, so I understand. We just need to be careful. This woods is huge. I can't explain how large it is. It's awesome in size, and we just need to make sure that we try to head northeast. if we're to head to the vault. We need to find a path, and we need to follow it northeast. If we lose the path, it's quite possible that we'll never make it out of these woods alive.
Thanks, Jurindar. I guess, what do I feel like with this group? That before long and before the end of this, I'm going to find myself shield to shield with the Lord of the Glade.
Khan's like, what do you mean, Akane?
Well, we seem to have a habit of doing good, and that often involves us facing down pretty strong enemies. Now, I've always thought that Lord of the Glade was a rumour. I didn't know that he was actually real, Jurindar. I thought it was just something that, you know...
He is a rumour told in stories. But I believe him to be real. And if we had the opportunity, we would want to rid the wood of this blight that's killing it.
I mean, if it's important to you and we see an opportunity, we can investigate, but...
It's critical.
But so is the political climate, right? You know, we've got to watch out. We're here on a very strict purpose for Beatrice. Tensions are rising, and we need that deterrent. So whilst, yeah, I agree, we should absolutely kind of face off against that. We might have to make a decision.
On your mission from the princess, did she give you a time frame?
Nope.
No. I think it was something. It's something that I was planning to check in with Syrian, probably in the next couple of days,
Interesting.
and just kind of let him know where we are and what we're doing.
Cool.
I'm not sure where we're entering the woods, but assuming that we are somewhere towards the lower left of where the wood begins, we will head
Good assumption.
diagonally through. And it might be that we come past the centre where the Lord of the Glade is said to live, and it would mean the world to me if we could do something about this. I mean, look at the trees. The blight is spreading. It's the largest wood in the land, and we wouldn't want to lose it.
You all look at the trees and you're like, they look like trees. Durindar's like, look at the trees.
Definitely a tree.
Is there something obviously wrong with the tree, or does it just look like a normal tree?
I mean, maybe to his eye. To you, you're just like, I don't know. Just like, okay, sure, whatever you say.
Well, let's head in and we'll see what happens. Just play it loose.
Let's get you, baby.
Garland just looks at you like, okay. Alright, so yeah, so you start heading in, and it's sort of like quite a sudden change of, I guess, biome and climate. You know, you go from this where it's very arid, and it's still quite dry, and sort of that sort of thing outside, and you head in, and as soon as you cross into this, it's like you headed into a different world, and the air is cooler and a little humid, and you know, everywhere it's not like a complete cover, but there's trees everywhere, and it's like this constant canopy with sunlight dappling through onto the path, and outside it was quite quiet and almost desolate. You know, you rarely saw creatures apart from like the occasional mountain goat or something, and the wind howling around. But you go into this woods and it's loud. You know, there's birds fluttering and chirping, animals skittering around, and the sound of branches swaying and clapping and cracking against one another, and it just sounds alive. It's like quite a different experience to what you've had for the last couple of days. And I guess you just you find this path, and it's quite a big, wide open. It's not like a paved path, but it's just a dirt path, but it's very clearly walked. It's sort of like various different coloured leaves dappling the path as you go. Occasional like small creatures skittering around, but it's not completely wild. You know, it's not at this point where you probably have to be like all cramped in what single file. You can just ride your horses quite openly, and at a reasonable pace.
I imagine looking around as well, and we're just kind of like in between all the trees and stuff, and it's quite beautiful.
Yeah, it would be, I think it would be quite a beautiful and almost like peaceful place where it's just like wildlife all around you, and you look up and you can just sort of like see, the sky through in between the branches and stuff, and it's pleasantly cool, whereas you've just had this cloying heat of the Galanaran summer for the last few months. It's probably quite pleasant for you guys to be here.
Quite a relief.
Yeah.
I can finally stop prostituting myself.
Getting your armpits.
Yeah.
What do you look like today, Lysander?
Oh, good question. I think he would opt for what he was looking like yesterday. Bordering on masculine, 5 o'clock shadow, permanent 5 o'clock shadow, very 80s George Michael.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, you guys continue on the path, and the morning passes without event. You keep following this path, and occasionally it kind of, it thins out for a moment or disappears, but then you pick it up like a few meters ahead, and you just, you don't really encounter anyone. Nothing threatens you. No creatures come and bother you or anything like that. You do at one point find like a very small brook running down the side of the road, and you decide to stop and water your horses and maybe feed them some oats or whatever. Maybe refill your water skins at that point.
Yeah, I think I'll jump off and refill my water skin. Take a big, refreshing, kind of drink from it.
And so it's really, it's like quite a small little brook, but it's crystal clear water, and it's really quite idyllic.
I think I'd hand my water skin to Akane while you were doing yours. Like, darling, do you mind helping me out?
I think I just give him a smile. I'm like, blow some hair out my face and fill your water skin up. While it's in there, I'm trying to think of something I can do to it possibly. Actually, do you know what? I turn around, I squirt a little bit at you. I feel like, but not too much, right? I'm not. And then I kind of fill it back up again. I put it back, and I'm like, sorry about that. Couldn't resist.
God, this sounds like something from a rom-com.
It's gonna happen.
Stop trying to make it happen.
I look angry at first, and I wipe the water off, and I just kind of stare at you, and then click my fingers, and a puff of sparks comes up, and I'm just like, and I
Yeah. And I guess as it comes up, I just jump back. I push my kind of bamboo hat out my eyes, and yeah, I think we just share it. It's a nice little moment.
Nice moment. Anime teasing.
So I think at this point I'm going to work over to Durindar as well and just be like, you do know where we're going, right? I'm trying to keep an eye on where we are, but I'm following you ultimately.
I think so. But have we found a path? Are we still on a path?
You're still following a path at this point, yeah. And it's it's winding, but it's heading in the general direction that you feel you need to be going. So you think it's best to just follow it, I think.
Yeah. As long as we don't stray from the path, I think we'll be okay. I'm pretty sure we're going in the right direction. I don't know how much that fills you with confidence.
I'm so glad you said that. As long as we don't stray from the path.
Yeah. So we just got to keep on this path then, basically.
Yes, unless we see another path, at which point we'll have to make a decision.
Which is the path that you must stay on.
The yellow one.
Let's
the Emerald City.
Let's crack on. Do this.
Okay. I think I'll mount
go through this forest in one session. Come on, let's do it.
Let's go.
I run.
Yeah.
I tell you now, that ain't gonna happen.
I love it. Truffle's like, I run. I'm like, trot to keep up.
Simon needs to slow down. Simon turns out he's an off-road vehicle, and he is booking it.
You're doing a little horse play. Oh yeah.
Heyo!
What is
Mage
that?
hand some water and splash Simon in the face with Mage hand. We have our own moment.
He just starts bucking like.
What's his blinkers look like? Are they well crafted?
Oh no, they're badly made. They are pretty. They're like a rubbish. They're almost impeding his sight. It's almost like at one point he gave up and just made a Zorro mask. Because trying to get something to hide like that is quite difficult. So sometimes they flap in his eye. But to be honest, Simon is used to riding blind anyway, because he's got like quite a big fringe that sometimes falls into his eyes, and he has to blow it out of his face. So Simon's pretty good at using his ears. He's like the Daredevil of horses.
Deep lore about Simon, like.
Truffle is a shallow pool. Simon is a deep ocean.
I can see you've put a lot of time and effort into this over the last 2 weeks, Christopher. And I appreciate it, thank you. Okay, so you guys, you get back on your horses and you head back on the path. And Durindar always keeping his eye out and watching the surroundings and trying to keep you going along the path and out of danger wherever he can.
Do I notice any animals? Can I hear animal sounds as we're walking?
Yeah, you hear all kinds of birds and tweeting and fluttering around in the boughs.
Do I recognise any from the book that I read in the library?
I think Truffle would probably like, hey, look, it's one of those things, and you probably wouldn't.
Chihuahua.
You're probably not even like remotely correct. So you're just like, hey, look, it's a.
It's a Christmas robin.
Yeah, one of those thingies. And everyone's like, oh yeah, interesting. Garland especially is like, oh, I've never seen one of those before.
You never will. It's the last of its kind.
And you'll see stuff like deer flitting through the woods and stuff like that. Maybe occasional boar or something. It's that kind of classic forest environment.
Do you know what, team? I have a good feeling about this.
Nothing can go wrong. No one's gonna harm you.
Dun, dun, dun,
I'm really pleased to hear that. And
coffin meme.
Dun, 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 dun.
As soon as you say it, I grab my wooden totem and hold it really tightly.
Just flick my hat.
Oh, what could possibly go wrong, eh? Anyway,
What kind of time is it about now?
it is you are travelling during some time in the daytime.
Okay, and we can see the sky. It's not thick.
Yeah,
cover,
it's
is
not
it?
like you completely blocked out. You'll have patches where it's a bit open. You'll have patches where it's like completely dense. But it's not like a constant thick woods at this point. It's just kind of
pleasant.
Can I
yeah.
clarify just about the travel time? When you were talking earlier, basically it's going to be like, we're not going to do every day. We're just going to kind of like, oh god, he's rolling. No, stop it. We're just going to kind of like do a general. We're not going to go like foot by foot. It's going to be like kind of.
Who knows? Stop trying to meta.
Well, you haven't let me continue yet, so you won't know. I was about to say,
Go.
you carry on travelling for the rest of the evening, nothing happens, and you get to night time. It's the air starts growing chill, and you start thinking it's probably time to make camp. You're heading through the path, and through the gaps in the trees, you see the twin moons in the sky. One of which is like this larger orangey yellow moon. There's this smaller like bluish moon that sort of hangs around in the background, and you know that it's quite infrequent that you get both of them in the sky. Usually it's one or the other, but tonight you can see both. And yeah, you kind of think, maybe it's getting to like 9 or 10 or something like that sort of time of day, and that owls are hooting somewhere in the background. You can hear insects chirruping, and you find your way to just like a small clearing or something, and you decide it's time to make camp.
I get a twig and I put it on the road, and then I get 2 more twigs and I make like a little arrow for the way that we need to go in the morning down the path, so we don't go the other way.
Nice.
I'll give you a bonus to your roll tomorrow for that.
Nice.
Thank you.
That's actually really
Truffle is going to take a needle out of his first aid kit and he's going to rub it on his head, and then he's going to get a leaf and pour some water from his water can onto it, and get a smaller leaf and place the needle through, and then place it floating on that little leaf, and watch it spin to north. Because that's how you make a homemade compass, ladies and gentlemen.
Does Truffle know how to make a homemade compass? Or
Roll,
does Chris
Chris, roll survival.
Come on, natural 20. Okay. That's an 18!
Okay, yeah, you see Truffle doing something with this little whatever he's got, and you're kind of watching him, like, what's he doing? Garland walks up and peers down, like, towering over you, and then you have this leaf in your hand, and this little thing that just sort of starts slowly rotating, and then stops pointing, sort of roughly in the direction of where the path was going, maybe a little bit off of there, sort of thing, to the right of it.
So I assume the poles on this planet are the same as.
You may assume that
If they're
gravity and the
then
poles
that's a
work
problem.
the same as they do on Earth. You may assume
North
that,
is-
yes.
Wow.
We're good now.
You may assume that Liodos has a molten iron core.
We're never getting out of these woods.
I slightly adjust the arrow.
These woods are a large part of the adventure. This is chapter 2. You're going to be here. I know you want to skip over chapter 2 if you want to. You can.
No.
No, not at all.
So I think I'm going to make a fire at this point.
I suggest we don't make a fire, just in case.
Oh. But without fire, we haven't got heat. We won't be able to cook. Well, I guess we've got nothing to cook.
What's the temperature like?
It's cool. It's like early autumn evening where it's starting to get a bit cooler.
I chuck on my Ugg boots, get myself a pumpkin spice latte, and chill out.
Fuck
Get
yeah.
yourself an Ariana Grande.
And I reckon around a PSL.
Oh, we'll
Why,
make
why
a
do
fire.
we want a
And
fire?
we just have to keep a close eye.
A what?
I think particularly
I
for
cannot-
Akane keeping watch, she needs light, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I cannot help in any way, shape, or form to this survival.
I climb up into the nearest tree, assuming that I can do that, and I just keep watch while you make the fire.
Are you climbing a tree?
I am climbing a tree.
Roll.
Would you like to roll?
That's a roll.
Roll athletics, please. I
17.
love it when people climb stuff. Yeah, that's fine. You can climb, no
God.
problem.
Don't.
Straight
climb
up,
it.
falls out of the tree. Ties.
Don't ever climb a cliff. If Dan gives you a cliff, do not climb it.
Hey, you've been in that cliff more than one time. Did you feel the need to climb it a second time?
Man, I should have climbed the cliff. Instead, we decided to get mowed down on the last time I played.
Right.
Anyway.
I think Lysander will again. This is going to be his ritual. His ritual cast Unseen Servant, have him set up his tent, and then get into his comfy clothes.
And again, I think with stuff like this, where it's like a thing you do every day, you can go into it once now or twice now, and then we'll just assume, unless you want to say something different, that is what you're doing every day, basically. And so, unless it's something that requires resources and you've run out of resources.
I would like to say that Truffle also plays his flute every evening. Doesn't have to be loud, doesn't have to be quiet, just of an evening he just naturally, his hand goes to his keepsake flute as the only connection to his past he has.
I think every time you do that, Garland always like goes quiet and just goes and sits opposite you and sort of sways, listening.
So lovely.
His hands in his lap, like.
Yeah. I will also be making. I will be also making notes in my little book that I have, my leather tome that you may have seen me use before. But I think when Truffle's playing, the writing slows down and stops. And I'm trying to listen without letting anyone know I'm listening.
Nice.
I will be paying very close attention to all of the leaves
All of them in a
I'm
forest.
looking, every evening I am looking at all of the trees and the leaves and the plants, looking for signs of stuff.
Okay.
Look at the majesty.
Understood.
And it's just like a leaf.
Okay, so you're keeping out for signs of like
This leaf is blight.
something wrong with nature, is what you're. I guess you're looking at.
It's like really green and luscious.
Have you seen this leaf?
I think that probably would be things that Durandal would do. He would like get a leaf,
Yeah.
which is like totally normal,
Yeah.
and be like, "Tell me,
Look at it."
is this one blighted?"
This leaf has fallen from the tree to the floor. Why?
Oh boy, that's good. Okay, cool. So I keep an eye out for things which are, I don't know, signs of disturbance in nature. What's the Kane doing? Do you say what you're doing?
No, so I think she's going to be doing. She's quite practical, right? So she'll set up camp. She'll usually get something to eat from the back of the cart that we're pulling along still. So some sort of salted ration or meat, and then she just usually gets on it.
Yeah,
kind of
one of your barrels of wine.
one of the barrels of wine. Not in a
Dragging through a forest.
we're dragging through a forest with all our gear and stuff. But it's not in a kind of desperation way. But I think kind of she does it over the course of 4 hours every night, and she just gets she just kind of gets more sway. I think sometimes she talks about her past, and we can go into that in a bit if you want. And sometimes she doesn't. She just kind of stares at the fire, poking it with a stick. Listening to Truffle play is flute, and just generally enjoying the company.
And the plus side on that is it gets lighter every day. Your wagon.
Yeah.
Oh.
Although we've got what 3 weeks worth of rations we got. So
Yeah. I mean the rations
think-
probably wouldn't weigh that much, but your barrels of wine.
yeah, I think what I do as well is I use a chisel as well within my armor kit to just tally a 1 into the back of the cart.
Nice.
Days of travel.
Days of
I
travel.
I will also partake in any wine, and my special wine that Akane got me.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I would definitely offer some up to everyone else as well. If anyone wants.
I really want a glass of wine now, like in IRL.
That's what our break will be. It's just getting a nice beverage.
Oh, a nice flagon.
Barrel of wine.
Flagon.
Yeah.
Flagon
So
of wine.
yeah.
Flagon.
I forgot about Flagon. Sorry,
I just don't know how to pronounce words. Nobody's ever told me how to pronounce words. All I can do is read them in fantasy novels. Anyway, so I'm sat there and I think we're having a glass of wine. Like Sandra, right? I think kind of having fun. And I think I'll just kind of as Truffle was playing gently in the background. I think I guess I'll just start talking. So this reminds me actually of being out on the road when I was younger. I don't think I've told you this, guys, but I was a bit of a armor smithing prodigy, and one of the kind of yeah. But I'll tell you how it happened. I was actually found by a guy called Rental, who's one of the master armor smiths in Liodos. He was doing his kind of annual, pilgrimage, and he found me making some armor in my village. So I originally come from Sindel to the north, and we travelled for weeks. And every day he would test me to make a new piece of armor, and every day I would impress him by mixing metals, just getting a feeling for how it was. And I think that's when I really knew I was Castellan, apart from the echoes that started at that point. And it just reminds me about being out. There's something nice about being out under the stars. It meant I never really settled down anyway. I just want to say that I'm really enjoying this with all of you. I was joking a little bit earlier, but I suspect we might end up in a bit of trouble as we head through these woods. So I just want you guys to know that I'm happy to be, I'm happy to put my life up for yours, because do you know what? I think what we're doing is really, really important. And I mean, Truffle, this is amazing, right? This is the furthest you've ever been from home.
Yeah, this is this is what houses are made of. Like everywhere. Like this is what chairs are made of. And it's everywhere. Like I've never seen a forest.
Do you mean the wood, Trevor?
Yeah. Like I've never been in a wood before. That might sound weird.
Where were you born? In a cave?
I don't know where I was born.
So what? I always just assumed you kind of you got bored and left.
No, I see. There's very little that I remember of my childhood. I remember the town, and I've never really left. And anyone who's come into that town has treated me with funny looks or anger, or I've never felt comfortable leaving. So I wasn't joking when I say that I live through other people's stories. It's part of the reason why I wanted to become a bard, is because when I saw traveling bards who came in, like good ones, not like Zemsel,
You beat me to it.
Get out of there.
they would tell of these amazing stories, and I'd read, and I found my comfort in solitude. And although I liked talking to the people, I talked to the people I liked and who knew me. And you guys know that I used to keep a disguise. I used to become that little boy, and it was draining. Personally, I preferred to hide in the blushing gnome, and I'd find a little corner and I'd listen to the music and these stories about valleys and mountains and woods and battles, and maybe it's because it was romanticized, I don't know, but it's kind of weird when you start living the stories that you've heard. So this is really weird to me. This is what like houses are made of. I've only seen small ones. Like there's loads of them.
This is what adventures are made of, Truffle.
Wood?
I think
I lean out of the tree and I say to Truffle, Truffle, how old are you?
9. But like I'm an old 9. Like goblins become adults at the age of like 7 or 8, so I'm kind of alright. Like I'm kind of a big deal now.
You're an adult?
Big time! You don't see me drinking?
I look shocked. Like,
Yeah, I mean I
what?
can't grow a beard or anything.
How's that possible?
Yeah, I mean I'm for all I know I'm big for my age. I don't know. The last time I met a goblin was like in that cave. I didn't know they were adults. They could have been 10 or 11.
What was your first memory, Truffle?
I mean, see, I think that the first memory I have is eating food in a tavern. But if I'm honest, I've had dreams where I've been younger, and I've seen flames, and I've heard screams, and then plunging cold and water. And
Wow.
I don't quite understand that, because fire and water don't go together. Duh. And it's more flashes, and it fades in and out. But I see normal dreams, like I've dreamt of things before, and you have a dream and then that's it. And I feel like I've had this dream quite regularly. And it'll fade in and fade out, and I'll hear... It's always the screams. And then it's like arguing almost after the screams. But it's 2 men. I think they're men. And then there's flashes of heat and cold, fire and water. So mainly I stick with the whole eating in a tavern thing, because I know what that is, and that makes sense. But as far as I know, I don't remember where I was born. I don't really remember much beyond like being 6 or 7, if I'm honest.
What do you think the men were doing?
What do you mean?
I mean, were they bad?
I don't know. I mean,
They're related
people
to you?
argue all the time. I mean, I've heard people argue in the pubs on a regular occasion. You know, it's what people do. But this I don't know. I felt like one was almost sounded afraid. The thing is, I couldn't work out any of the words. See, some days the dreams are really vivid, and I'll see one of the components like really, like I'll hear the screaming loudly, and then the shouting will be quiet. And then some days I can't hear anything, and I just see the fire, and I feel it burn my skin, and then I wake up in a cold sweat. And all I know is that I'm staying away from water, I'm staying away from fire, and I'm staying away from arguments. Because I've read in lots of stories, it's either the future or it's the past, and it never ends well. And if it's dreams of treasure, cool. This is dreams of fire and arguments. So I'd rather stick to my fantasy, and right now these are woods. So unless you set these woods on fire, I'm fine.
I think Lysander has completely stopped writing and is just looking at Truffle, listening. Like,
Yeah.
I think I moved the subject onto something a bit more light-hearted, and I think we just kind of just joking throughout. Well, I'm trying to keep conversation light. I think it was pretty good to talk about that, and just poke the fire until I think it's ready to turn in. Yeah, I think I'm a little bit more conscious of the fact there's a fire going on. We're letting the fire die out. I'm not adding as much wood to it as I normally would.
Okay. So you'll finish your conversations, and eventually, you all start to head to bed, and the fire starts to sort of die down a little bit. And as per usual, I guess Akane takes the first watch.
Yep.
If everyone can roll anyone who's taking a watch, roll a perception check for me, please.
I'll take a watch.
I believe it was.
Are we doing all through the night, or just in order, or?
It was
I
Akane,
rolled a
Durindar,
7.
Truffle, Lysander is the one that I've got at the moment.
Okay.
Got
yeah.
we'll do that as the same.
nine
Well, we roll a
minus.
perception.
Yeah, so it's 9 minus 1 for me.
7
8.
for me.
It's a 13 for Trust.
So we get staring at fire for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah, so Akane, you take the watch as the rest of them head to sleep, and you sort of pleasantly a little bit buzzing from the wine you've been drinking, and pleasant chats you've been having with your friends, and you sort of look out into this woods, and just sort of gentle breeze rolls across you, and you can hear the of the owls, insects chirping. Occasionally you see a firefly flicker by. Nothing happens, and you eventually hand over the watch to whoever it was, Durindar. He takes his watch, and it continues like this for the rest of the night, and nothing happens. And you all awaken in the morning. You all awake in the morning after a long rest, which I'm sure you didn't need at this point, but it is the next day. You pack up your camp.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, you go ahead and say whatever you're going to say.
Oh no, I just said I do what I always would do in the morning. Get up and I go foraging, see if I can find anything edible.
Okay, so if you anytime you want to do a forage, just roll a survival check for me, and we'll see how well you do.
Can I help him so he can roll with advantage?
20.
Yes.
Sorry.
Well, he succeeded anyway, so.
I was going to help. I will hold the basket.
You're running after him like, I'm going to help him. He's like, I just found this. Massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you might find, like
Raspberries and
yeah, you might find some
Tree.
like bushes with
Blackberries
berries, and you
and-
might find some like things where you're like, oh, this is, if you pull this up, you can cook the roots, like a kind of sort of an onion or a carrot type situation. You bring back a few things.
I bring back some root vegetables.
Yes, that sort of crap. Some tubers.
Parsnips.
And yeah,
Look what nature has given us.
You all have a meal without using up any rations, basically. Unless you don't want to eat that stuff.
Before it's cooked, I will look over and be like, "You sure it's not blighted?"
Oh,
No, this is all right. I've checked.
I think I give Lysander an elbow. Stop. He needs to eat.
I'm serious. He can see blight. He can see the blight. We can't see that. He's saying the trees are blighted. I can't see
The ground
Yeah.
has protected these vegetables.
Oh, I don't know. Mine tastes blighted.
I will trust you.
And I'm like, guys, seriously, stop playing with him. And I take a bite of my tuber, and I'm like, although
Blighted.
it does take us a bit blighted, doesn't it?
Tastes
There's
blighted.
nothing wrong with the vegetables.
Oh, a little bit of blight.
Guys, it's not funny.
Performance check.
It's serious. Look at the leaves.
I cast invisibility. I'm fading away. I do not cast that. Cool.
So I think after a light-hearted breakfast, I think we're going to pack up and, if you guys are comfortable, just pack up and make way.
It's like wimpy, light-hearted, and then someone's head's on a spike.
Navigation check of whatever the variety you were doing.
Can I cast guidance on myself?
Yes.
Yes, I believe so.
I touch myself,
And
and then I hold my totem, and I just mutter a few words to myself
it's penis poke. Not
quietly,
Okay.
and cast guidance on myself, and then roll nature with what advantage?
You get
D
plus
plus
D4.
Plus a D4.
Plus a D.
Well, that's a natural one. With
Why-
a D4, you say?
Can I give him a bardic inspiration though? Actually,
And, and then I roll a 4 on a D4, so 6.
I imagine while all this is going on, like,
But I have my arrow. That
I was gonna
points
say,
in the
out of
right
curiosity, is the arrow still there?
but I imagine Druidar's like this, and then like Truffle can see him, so he tries to help out, and it starts to get confusing, and everyone's just talking over each other, and
I just turn. I'm just.
Mage hand points to the arrow.
Oh yeah.
I pick up the sticks and just kind of confidently say it's this direction.
Yeah. I think the most you can say is we'll follow the arrow and keep heading in that direction.
Yeah, that is what we should do.
I like it.
So you do. That is what you do. You get back on your horses and you pack up your.
Is there any grass nearby? I'd like to give Simon a little breakfast as
Oh,
well.
there's
please.
plenty of grass. There's like bushes and tall grass
Simon is
everywhere,
going to
yeah.
have a lovely. And by the way, I'd like to point out, as part of my ritual, the blinders come off. I'm not going to let him, at night when it's most dangerous, he needs both peepers awake. So yeah,
Simon the
pop
Sentry.
them back on. Simon's got his blinkers back on. Are they blinkers or blinders? What are they?
Blinkers. I think.
Blinkers, yeah.
Are they?
Cool. Simon, I popped Simon's blinkers back on again.
Peaky blinkers.
Big blinkers.
Yeah.
and then we head off.
Simon has a little.
I'd like
snack
to
and, yeah.
change my order, if possible.
Yes.
I would like to shuffle my pony up to whoever's at the front to kind of experience this firsthand.
It's
whatever
really
it is.
Druindar that's leading everyone. Yeah. So.
Cool. I would like to saddle my pony right next to Ruindar, and as we're walking, I'd like him to point out different things that he sees and tell him stories of the glades and all that kind of about this woods that he's walking through, given that he knows the area, and tell him soak up all of the adventures and stories that Druindar has had in the past.
You're asking for a guided tour.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, basically.
And he
In-
points
in
out
the
all kinds of things like, oh, look at this bush, and it's flowering at this time of year, and it's got this beautiful colour. And then he's like,
Yeah.
oh, look at these vines. It's a specific kind of creeper that only grows on this sort of tree. And I mean,
Yeah,
actually,
they're
the tree's
normally
very
yellow,
healthy.
but today they're brown.
And that sort of thing.
I think to anyone else, this would get a bit tired. Truffle is drinking it in. This is the best tour he's signed up for ever.
Nice, nice.
And I repeat, and I keep whispering, Simon, did you hear that? Simon is involved in the conversation.
She's like,
However, all of the things that I tell you are complete BS on the basis that I just learned these things from what my family and clan have told me. So, you know, that's a wingly wangly. It's probably an oak, but I wouldn't
You're,
know that.
you're such a hipster poser.
So I just give you all of the that's a daisy with the white petals and the yellow centre. The daisy, they grow all over the woods.
Have you seen any blight? Is anything blighted?
The blight is near. I can feel it.
Can you feel it? Okay. Oh god, I think I can feel it too.
I don't think you can feel it. You are not attuned to such a small man.
Damn,
maybe
son. You are not tuned, son.
You cannot understand these things as I do.
Can you teach me how to attune?
No.
Please let the blight be fake. And it's just like you owe someone money in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, definitely blighted.
So rewrite my notes.
I think I'm
goblin boy.
by Lysander at this point. I was like, don't you realise that you can't attune yourself to a wood, right?
I'm just going to shake my head and I just go, oh, I don't know anything about nature magic. It's all very sticky and green. It's precipitation.
Thank God that's the cantrip.
Yeah. Better
Oh,
cantrip.
dear. Awesome.
So we continue.
So yeah, you continuing? Okay, cool. So
Yep.
You carry on for the rest of the morning with Durindar desperately trying to keep you on track somehow. You know, the still following the path. So at this point, it's kind of hard to get hugely lost.
I'd like to hunt a deer while I'm out here. If I see any deer, I would like to take a shot of them and do a bit of hunting so we can restock our.
You don't see any deer.
Okay.
As a natural
Fair
one.
enough.
As a natural one.
Simon is a clumpy beast.
I love those clickety clacks.
Yeah, even though he's on soft mud, it's like so tap dancing.
So yeah, you travel on for the morning. It gets to maybe mid-afternoon, and you encounter like a stream this time, like less than you just had a brook yesterday. This is more like a big stream. There's like a big clearing with like a ridge and like a little mini waterfall, and it's quite. It's like a little clearing basically, and you know you take this opportunity to stop and have a drink, and you know there's a couple of trees with like some apples on nearby that you can pick and have some fruit for a snack. And you can see it. There's fishes swimming around in this crystal clear water, and like little flowers, like and reeds growing up at the side of this creek.
I sniff the water. I bring it and I look at it. I inspect the water just to make sure that it looks okay before drinking it.
Yeah, you run your hand in it and you sort of like bring the water, have a smell, and you're like, this is wherever the blight is. It's not here. Whatever is causing problems, it's not here. This is some of the purest water you've seen.
Yeah. The water is fine. The water is fine.
Can I catch a fish?
Yeah, I was gonna say, has anyone got a net or I could use a shield blast, fishing the old school Castellan way.
Yeah, effectively dynamite. Yeah.
Yeah. I just start Eldritch blasting into the river.
So anyway, I started blasting.
Can't you? Haven't you got any magic? Grab stuff.
I've got a mage hand.
Oh. Could you? What is that? Is that some sort of magical hand?
It's literally a magical hand, but it's slightly blue. It's like a hand Patronus.
Could you grab something with it?
Big time. Yeah. Well, as long as it's not too heavy.
So you're going to try and grab a fish with your mage hand?
Yep. As long as it's not bigger than 10 pounds. But I hope that fish isn't bigger than 10
Make a
pounds.
magic attack roll.
What the fuck does that look like?
You must have some magic attacks, right?
It's D20 plus your spell attack bonus, which is probably
Let's
a
do-
7.
Which is spell attack is... Oh yeah, so yeah, it is. Right, 1 second. D20. That is a 16.
Okay, yeah, you see him sort of like the hand sort of like skitters around on the edge, and then he sort of pauses, and you see Truffle concentrating very hard, and the hand just sort of jumps and grabs a fish, and it sort of flutters around in it. Then the hand sort of comes back out, and the fish is just sort of flapping around in this sort of magical, translucent blue hand in the air.
Nice truffle.
Oh my god, this is going to be like a grabber game, isn't it?
And let's see, it's an average size fish. You know, it could probably feed maybe 2 or 3 people if you cooked it up.
And it's quite majestic until you see the hand smash the fish against a rock.
Fucking brute.
I'm
And then
horrified.
trot over, like Thing from the Addams Family, and just plops it down in front of Akane.
I've never been clear on whether Mage Hand has to skitter or whether it can hover.
It can hover, man. It's like Hamburger Helper, sort of hand just floating around.
Yeah. I always want to play with a gnome and shrink myself, then use the hand to carry me around. Gnome wizard.
That's flight.
The meme is strong.
Serious meme.
So I take the fish and I think I wrap it in a bit of cloth, bamboo leaves as well, and I think
Bamboo leaves? You're not in the middle of China.
Dude, I've got bamboo leaves. I've got dried bamboo leaves.
Panda's good.
Okay. I will say you could probably find an equivalent in a nearby radius.
I will look for an equivalent at least, and I'll just wrap the fish up, and I'll pop it in my bag.
Make
Thanks,
sure they're
Josh.
not blighted leaves.
Yeah, make sure they're not blighted leaves.
And I'll take my chances, guys.
You should soak it in sake. It'd be like sake fish.
Sake!
Be delicious, actually. Nice marinade.
So, Durindo, I guess where does this leave us? This stream, you know, can we? Do you still know where we're going from here?
Well, the path lies in front of us. I would suggest we follow it and not stray from it.
As you guys are talking, you hear like a little rustling in some of the leaves in the ground nearby.
I'm like that.
It's the blight.
It's the blight.
Yeah, I think I turn around as well. I'm not drawing my weapon yet. I've got it kind of back on the horse actually.
And it's kind of like a rustle.
Pick up my crossbow.
And you're all like ready, and Truffles goes crossbow. Rustle.
I'm like staring at my nails.
And then it pauses.
Come out, beast!
And then out of this little pile of leaves, this head pops out of a little squirrel.
Shoot!
A little pointy, tufty ears.
Aww!
Hey, little buddy.
The blight's not scary at all!
And it just sort of looks at you and sort of cocks its head.
Oh, I cocked my head right back at it.
And just sort of runs around in a little circle and then stands back up on its hind legs and looks at you.
I chuck some of my ration towards the little squirrel.
It sort of looks at the ration and looks at you. And looks at the
And I
ration.
nod.
And then sort of carefully moves over. And like grabs a little bit and then runs back over to where it was.
And I turn and smile at Garland and I say, see, if you're nice to other animals, they'll be nice to other animals as well.
Oh, you are very kind, Truffle. Thank you for this lesson in life.
Would you like some? Oh, you don't eat.
Smashes it into his face.
Just jerky strip.
Just face palms it.
Just like a smear of like berries and grain on his face.
Can I use my awakened mind to telepathically communicate with the squirrel?
Oh yes, you can.
And just say, hello, do you understand me?
You don't speak squirrel.
It has to understand one language.
Shut up, that's awesome. Wait,
Oh.
If it understands a language.
Okay,
it can-
so Lysander, you hear a voice in your head in response. Oh, hello there.
I like stack a pack like I did like that. I'm just like stood there looking nonchalant and looking at the squirrel. I'm like, oh my god!
It's been so long since I heard another voice.
You can understand telepathically.
You can understand me, and it's sort of like doing with its paws, like.
Yes, I can somehow.
Oh.
And to the rest of us, what does this look like? Just like
I started just like looking at it like.
They're just staring at each other, like squaring off at each other, giving each other a stare.
I'm just like, what?
Oh, man, how long does this last, this spell?
It's not a spell. It's just an ability.
He's just telepathic.
It doesn't even matter.
I'm
You
just.
can have full-on conversations with just anything.
Who are you?
Well, I was a person at one point, I think. I was, I've been a squirrel for so long. I haven't spoken words in so long. It's strange.
Oh. And I stop for a second. I look at everyone. I'm like, the squirrel is talking to me.
Oh my god, he's finally lost it. You haven't been touching like Akane's wine, have you?
No. It's talking to me in my head.
Of course it is. Hey, Mr. Squirrel.
Are you being serious?
But does it have to be? You have to say something and then it can respond. Is that how it works?
I don't think it can respond.
Oh
Actually.
right, okay.
So you can you communicate telepathically with any creature you can see within 30 feet of you. You don't need to share a language for the creature to understand your telepathic utterances.
I don't know, you can communicate telepathically.
Yeah,
Well,
but I think that's
then
one
let's
way.
define communicate. Like, communication is two talking back to each other. Otherwise, we just.
So it would technically have to be able to, yeah.
So you would all right. So you would have said something and it would have been like.
Okay, so that's even weirder. So now I'm just like, so
That's just
Not
jumping up and down like.
nod your head if you can understand me.
1
Are
second.
you trapped? Do you need help?
Yeah, it's one way, unfortunately.
Do you know how I can help you? Oh yeah, and then I'll say to everyone, okay, I think the squirrel can understand what I'm saying.
Right, and what are you saying? Because you haven't said anything.
Yes, I'm using magic.
Oh, okay. That old chestnut.
Classic. I think he's if he's a squirrel and he can understand me, that means that he's not really a squirrel. He's something else, and he's trapped. So if I do it again, look, I'll make him shake his head. Squirrel, could you shake your head so they know that I'm telling the truth?
Whoa.
Oh
Okay.
my god. Oh,
Whoa.
ask him. Are you a squirrel?
No,
No,
don't trouble.
no. Are you really a squirrel? Are you a man?
That's
Are you a
a
squirrel?
That's
Are you
a
really a
good
squirrel?
question.
Are you really a squirrel? Is this a curse?
Ask him.
It's adorable.
Ask him if he's seen the blight.
He is for blight.
Have you seen the blight?
Ooh, do you need help?
Do you need help?
Ooh, do
Okay.
you want help?
I'll say, has anybody got anything to undo curses or?
I don't know, but I want this squirrel to come with us more than anything. Please.
I think maybe we should go. We should see if he wants to take us somewhere. Ask if he can take us any. Oh, so I can't speak to him. I guess we're at a point now where he can lead us away from our path. Do we trust him? I mean,
Big
we haven't had anything back apart from he says he's not a squirrel. So he could be anything, right? A demon, human, somebody's cursed, somebody's shapeshifted.
Those are things that can happen.
So I will just say, Mr. Squirrel, we will give you food. Just stay put for a second. I want to try and cast a spell. And I will sit down and start ritual casting Detect Magic. So it'll take me 10 minutes. So I just say to everyone, I'm just gonna, don't mind me, just keep feeding the squirrel.
I think I'm not going to move, right? This is fascinating. And what does it look like when you cast Detect Magic?
I mean,
When you do-
I'm going through like my book and reading things out and like maybe like drawing. Yeah, like I'm speaking deep speech, but I'm trying to do it quietly so no one hears.
It's always awkward when you try and speak.
Yeah. Say I just did that for 10 minutes. So I don't know what everyone else is doing.
Watching you.
Okay. Orcs. Okay.
So you spend
So-
10 minutes of awkward silence with the squirrel eating some scraps while you cast Detect Magic, and you look at the squirrel, you see all the normal things, the magic items that your friends are carrying, and you see the squirrel has got an aura of transmutation. Magic.
Transmutation. I will relay that information to everyone.
Is
Yes.
he glowing? So the squirrel's glowing.
It's transmutation magic. This is not a squirrel. This is something that's been turned into a squirrel. Truffle, do you have anything, any magic that could help? I don't have anything, unfortunately.
I
Unless you wanna
zone
get
of
married.
truth. So you could ask him a question, and I could zone of truth him, and then he could never lie to us, and we can interrogate this squirrel.
I mean, it's not actually a bad idea. I mean, if you relay back to the squirrel that actually we could offer him help, but we need him to submit to a zone of truth so that we know
If
that
you have
he
100
doesn't,
gold, I could
he
identify this
doesn't,
squirrel.
he doesn't bear us under your will.
It's
I
a
mean,
squirrel.
It's a
It's a big spell as well. It tires me out.
I'm just thinking, like, we don't. It depends what he wants from us, right? We can follow him somewhere, or he can follow us. I guess maybe that's the first question. Does he want to
I
come
think
with
we
us?
should bring him along until I feel like he's a good omen.
Well, it depends. Yeah, I mean, ask if he wants to come along, I guess, and if not, then we can try and delve further into this. But I don't know if he's kind of living around here,
And
if he's
then-
bound to this area.
Ask if he has a name and can he write it in the dirt.
Oh, that's the okay, so, Mr. Squirrel, would you like to come with us? Perhaps we can find a way to break this curse or this magic that's upon you.
God, I love him so much.
Yes. Do you have a name? It doesn't know.
Ooh, let's call him Ferdinand.
How does Ferdinand strike you, Mr. Squirrel? As a temporary name?
No.
Okay. Mr. Squirrel will do. For now. Well,
And we've got another NPC.
Blend is acting his heart out on these NPCs.
so, okay. So I would say to everyone, the squirrel is going to join us. And we're going to try and see if we can find a way to break this magic.
I love it. Where's he going to
Garden like
ride on Simon?
bends down and puts his hand out, and the squirrel like hops onto his hand.
Oh,
And he just like starts skittering around his arm, and just like perches on his head.
Oh,
Nice.
this is great.
They're too close to each other. They're going to get blown up. They're going to die.
Truffle's best friends.
Oh, God.
And I'll just kind of, after that, he's on his head, I'll just be like, well, that was strange. Should we make camp?
Oh, we're just going to... Okay, yeah, we're not going to talk about the fact that there's a squirrel man. Oh, cool. This
Well-
adventuring is... It's hard to follow. Is everyone following what's going on?
Truffle,
how
I
many
am very confused. Why is this squirrel following us?
His name's Ferdinand, I think. I don't even know. He doesn't like that name.
Mr.
It's a
Squirrel.
squirrel that's been turned into is a man, but or a squirrel it's
we
not a squirrel.
don't know he's a man, right?
I just make it- Truffle just makes stuff up, so it's something. I
There are
mean,
so
No, but-
many
no,
things
I think
that
when
I
I
don't
say-
understand about this
When I
squirrel.
say, we don't know he's a man, I like give him the eyes, give the squirrel the eyes, like, yeah, I'm on to you.
He's just like,
I can't hit the squirrel sterile.
yeah. It's a hell of a morning, huh?
Yeah, what is it? Is it morning?
it's afternoon at this point, yeah. About like
Okay.
maybe like 3 in the afternoon, something like that.
Is this you what?
Transmutation magic. He's
Is it
been
dark magic?
It's
not
dark magic?
necessarily. No,
No, it's
not
not.
necessarily. It's just he's been turned into something. It's polymorph, something like that. He's been turned into this. You
Is
obviously
it
can't get out.
everlasting? Transmutation?
It depends on the spell. That's only the school of magic.
And it's
Uh,
dark
and-
magic? How do you know so much
No,
about dark
it's-
magic?
It's not dark magic.
Even I know it's not dark magic. It's one of the kind of basic tenets of magic, right?
If someone turned me into a squirrel, I'd think they were a pretty bad guy.
Oh, it depends. He could have done it to himself accidentally. I don't know.
Ooh, can you ask him whether he turned himself into a squirrel by accident? That'd be something I would do.
I don't think he remembers.
Interesting.
Mr. Squirrel, did you turn yourself into a squirrel by accident? Yes, and I think he's probably been this way for a while if he's lost his memory.
Oh man. Maybe I'm not a goblin.
It's great. I have 3 things that I can say. Yes, no, and I don't know.
It's like
In
that
response.
bloody game.
It's awesome.
So,
That is the best one. A squirrel doing that is the best.
so okay, let's just keep on trucking, I guess.
What's the
I
truck?
literally can't keep on going. Let's keep going. Just keep walking.
Keep on going. Let's go.
So yeah, you head out. You follow the path, and it sort of follows this like quite wide stream for a while. And, you carry on with the pleasant sound of the water trickling by, and the sort of cool air as you travel.
Throughout this travelling, I keep a very close eye on Lysander.
Oh.
Okay.
What have I done? Made friends with a squirrel.
Yeah, you
Not,
telepath.
not in a nasty way, more in a pondering, intrigued way.
Why the fuck can this guy talk to a squirrel?
Yeah, to be fair.
Jealous.
Why
He's
can't I
jealous.
talk to animals? I want to talk to animals.
Victor. Yeah, true. You're a forest kid. Can't talk to animals. Some toff. It's like, oh yeah, I'm Mowgli over here.
Oh my god.
Right, you can hear the forest talking. Okay,
Anywho.
apologies.
So you travel for the rest of the evening, and you follow the stream for maybe a couple of hours until the path then veers away and carries on heading northeast, and the stream just sort of heads sort of southwards. And it gets to evening time again, and you don't encounter any trouble or anything strange along your way, and you make camp again. And unless anyone wants to do anything special, just roll some night watch rolls for me.
Survival, yeah?
There's perception,
No,
please.
perception.
Roll a
5. The
16.
rolls are not with me today.
11.
It's a sweet 9 for the papa.
I think I'm just more suspicious because of our encounter with this squirrel.
Wow, that's
Yeah, there's
not
weird
great.
stuff going on around here. Akane does not
There
trust this
is.
squirrel.
Yeah, there is. I'm definitely picking up this feeling. This vibe.
Yeah. I climb back up the nearest tree, and jump and magically land at the top of the tree, having rolled a 21. Keeping a very close eye on Lysander the entire time, almost gazing,
Okay.
not saying anything.
So you hop up into the tree and you do your usual rituals. Truffle plays his flute. Akane has a bit of her wine. Lysander writes in his book, and then you start taking your watches for the night. And nothing happens during the night, but during Akane's watch, she's the only one who's really seems to be paying proper attention this evening. You feel like you can't quite put your finger on it, but you feel like something is watching you. And you look around and you're like, there's nothing there. And then nothing happens for half an hour, and then you get another sense. And you sort of get up and you sort of go and you wander around the immediate perimeter. You look up into the trees and look down on the ground, and you can't see anything. And you head back to your post. Serve out the rest of your watch. Nothing happens, but you do get this strange feeling. But everyone else, you just have your watch and nothing happens. You wake up in the morning.
too busy drawing the squirrel.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. What's the squirrel gonna do? Just like hang out with Truffle? I guess probably. Truffle's like.
I feel like Garland and the squirrel
Yeah,
is a
Garland
really
and
odd
squirrel.
bond. Not gonna lie, Truffle's not even jealous. I think he's just in his head, given that he's not had many friends. His friend has just made a new friend, and therefore he's made double friends. He is blowing his fragile little mind.
That is adorable.
It's so adorable.
Awesome. So
I go and forage in the morning
yeah, roll your
and roll a
stuff.
17.
You find plenty of food of whatever kind you feel like.
A picnic that's just been left out.
I bring it back. I inspect it, and find nothing strange about it.
Yeah, I feel like it's still perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. You're like, maybe this whole blight thing is just a fairy tale.
In your head.
It's definitely a thing. And I bring it back and ignore everyone else and bring it straight to Lysander's tent. And just,
Ooh.
Lysander, are you awake?
Yes, I'll be up momentarily. Good morning.
There is some food out here if you wish to partake.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Druidar. I'll be out shortly.
Okay. I take a little bit of food and I say to the guys, there's some food there, but don't take much.
All right, I can probably make a nice dish with the fish, if you wish.
If you'd like to make a dish with the fish, that is your wish. You're right.
I think I basically take some of the grains of the vines and I cut open the fish, take the head off. Actually, I'll leave the head on. I'll spit it, cook it over the fire. So it's like this kind of this herb and kind of tuber infused fish. And I assume kind of with the added vegetables, we're looking about a meal for 4, right?
We're looking about one survival roll for a cat, I think.
I love this sassy DM. Oh! Natural 20!
She has made like the perfect portion for everyone, and the fish is perfectly
High
cooked, slightly
nutrient.
crispy skin, moist on the inside. And these are, it's the right amount of seasoning, and it's just, you all feel
The
satisfied.
batter is crispy.
Yeah, somehow she found flour and water and made batter.
Well, yeah, a bit of a water skin, flour from the
A bit of a Stark
We
roll.
made like battered little discs of like a tuber, and it's beautiful.
It's a good thing you can roll a natural 20 when it matters.
I tell you what, I kind of like, I bring this round, and I look a bit sheepish giving it to Truffle because I know that he loves cooking in the kitchen. This smells awesome.
You are going to have to teach me your recipe. This is incredible. I didn't realize I caught such a good fish.
I mean, yeah, it was. I mean, you did a lot of the work.
I mean, I've heard that the ingredients are like the most important part. Someone told me that. I don't know who it was.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I mean, you are part of. In fact, you're most.
Druinda, you and I have just cooked an amazing meal.
I had no part in cooking this fish.
Yeah. Okay.
No part. I won't be partaking in the fish eating.
I'm just playing with you both. This is really, really good. I'm really impressed. This is delicious.
Yeah.
Lysander,
can you smell that? Lysander.
I think I'm yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not, but I'm like kind of. I'm feeling a bit strange that Durandar came and brought me food like a cat. It's just kind of like, oh, wonderful! It smells delicious, and I just sit down and eat it, kind of glancing occasionally over at Durandar to see if he's looking at me.
I am looking at you.
Oh God, I'm just like, okay. Yeah, delicious, wonderful. Is our squirrel friend still here?
Yeah, he's just sort of maybe perched on Garland's shoulder, just sort of like nibbling on a nut that he's found.
Yeah, I'll get a little piece of ration, and I'll just be like, and I'll just say to him, "Come over here. I want to play a trick on Durandar."
Sort of looks at you like, Okay, and sort of tentatively skitters off the shoulder and over to you.
Man, hijink squirrel.
So like, yeah, comes over and here, eat some food. I'm just looking at Drew and Dar like.
I'm just in absolute awe at what's happening right now.
Mr. Squirrel, could you do something for me? And I break off another little piece of ration and I give it to you. Give it to him. You are now Mr. Squirrel, DM. And I give him the ration. Like, go and take that and offer it to Drew and Dar. That's the one.
Skitters over. Offers it up to you.
I can't quite believe, and I take it from him, and then I hold on to my token quite tightly, and I cast Animal Messenger on the squirrel. And I ask the squirrel to take a message, which he should be able to convey back to Lysander, and just tell him that I'm incredibly thankful for this gift.
Turns around and starts.
Squirrel acting.
Is he an animal though, technically?
So what? I don't know how Animal Messenger works.
No,
Can you
I don't know
explain
how
it to me?
Messenger allows me to cast upon a tiny beast, and I can ask that beast to deliver a message. The beast will travel 50 miles per 24 hours to carry the message, but obviously,
You can really send them on a mission.
obviously Lysander is only like 5 feet away, so but I wanted to show that I had some basic level of skill.
Okay.
Send him 50 miles.
So what does he? It just goes and it like says it, or like telepathically?
Yeah,
communicates
the squirrel will kind of gesture, but then because it's a spell, his mouth will open and the words will just kind of fall out.
So yeah, the squirrel walks over to Lysander and just goes, and then
Like
you hear
when-
Durandal's
Like
voice
when you
coming out of his
CGI a
mouth.
baby talking. Like that.
Like a talk boy that's just been plugged into a.
And then what does it say? Thank you for this gift or something. Yeah, you just basically hear Durandal's voice coming out of its mouth.
yeah, that's the best thing ever.
This is getting so bizarre. I love it. I'm just like, oh, well.
Oh god, I can't wait for us to get more spells. We are just getting fucking stupid with it all.
Oh. I think Lysander's a little bit godsmacked. As
I would be.
I'm just a bit like, oh.
Squirrel's just like, well,
Oh, well, yeah, sorry, I didn't grab my totem. I rubbed the stone to do that.
That'll be okay.
Like when you rub a lamp. Alright.
How about we stop this play and get back out on the road, guys?
Ooh, just see
Yes,
that
yes, quite right.
tumbleweed. Just...
Yeah, no, I think I'll get a bit sulky then. I'll just like kick the fire out. I thought it was funny. Yeah, then I'll just carve in number 2 into the caravan.
carving a number 2.
Not number 2, tally, second tally.
Carve into a number 2.
Carve out a number 2, lads. Don't mind it.
Carve out number 2 in the wagon. Oh my god. That's how I roll.
Do it in a hole.
Yikes.
D&D.
I mean,
Top lad.
this is what Gygax had in mind.
Top lad bands.
Oh my god, this is the most D&D I've ever D&D'd. I'm a squirrel.
Squirrel, man. We're gonna have like 8 NPCs by the end of this forest adventure.
Yeah.
I
feel like Snow
start
White.
curating my random encounters a bit. Okay, hang on.
So, should we move out, everyone?
Yeah, I'm just. I think I'm just going to take a break, and I'm just sorting out this stupid BRB screen. Okay, so we're going to take a 5-minute break, and we will continue in. What is it? Day 3. You just carved number 2, so it's day 3, and we will see what happens with your squirrel friend and the adventures in the Witherbark Woods.
Don't kill him.
Very
Don't
shortly.
Oh!
Fade out. Goodbye.
See you in 5.
Sick.
I needed apple and cheese.
And we're back. Welcome back to Rolling Thunder D&D. We are here in the second half of our episode. The party is on their journey through the Witherbark Woods. They've spent a couple of days. They've picked up a new friend in the form of a squirrel who Lysander had a telepathic conversation with. And now they are heading out for the third day. Who knows what awaits them? Is anybody doing anything before I proceed?
Feeding Simon.
Feeding Simon, yes, always good. Must feed your horses, whether they have names or not, Joseph.
I mean, I am feeding my horse. I'm letting my Andalusian just kind of graze by itself.
Nice.
I do know how to look after animals. I'm just not getting too attached.
Roll animal handling.
I feel like Akane has been on a horse plenty of times in her life.
Loads of times.
She's ridden so many things.
She's been around the block.
She has been around the block. And I think actually where it really comes from is she's just been on so many horses when they've died mid-battle that she's really kind of...
Well, this went dark real fast, guys.
Have you ever ridden a war horse in battle, even 500 men with a giant shield in front of you? No. Until you have, then you're going to stop. Yeah, until you have, then you will name your horses. Yeah.
Okay.
I stopped naming them after Christiana died.
I've ridden so many dead horses as a praise of the evening.
Yeah.
I think when Lysander gets on his horse, he just has to do like a few little loops because he doesn't know how to do it. It's like, oh, he's going around in circles again.
The classic noob horse move.
Meanwhile, Simon is trotting like a show pony with a hoof to do that dressage.
Nice. Simon's quite agile for a little pony, I think.
Simon is so agile.
Okay. So,
But he's got
Actually,
Simon isn't a horse. Don't know if I told you that. Simon's not a real horse. He's a cow.
I think
a cow! He's just like stuck a mane on him.
The others are getting him away from all the woods.
Nobody's no trouble because he's so excited.
He's got like a long shaggy cow.
Yeah, one of those cows like the really long hair.
On the Highland
Yeah.
one, yeah.
Fuck it, make it canon. I'm going with it. Simon is a Shetland cow.
Okay. How do these things happen to me? Okay, so yeah, you mount your cows and horses, and you back up the camp. And today, did you roll? You rolled. You did food, didn't you? Did you roll navigation? If not,
I
can you
have
do
not
that?
yet. I will now.
Today it is.
And it is a 13.
Okay, good. Today is overcast. It's no longer sunny like it has been every day since you started. Basically, the weather seems to have turned today. It's quite cool. It's not at this point cold. It's not currently raining or anything, but yeah. And you head out on your way, and the path it starts winding, and in this area the trees are quite thick, and the path is quite narrow, and you have to sort of follow it around quite carefully. And occasionally you have to sort of slow down, make sure your horses and cows don't trip over any sort of like roots sticking up and things like that. And occasionally the canopy comes quite close, and between the overcast nature and the trees overhead, it can be quite gloomy in places actually, in contrast to where you've been recently. And the undergrowth of bushes is also quite thick amongst the trees, so it all feels a little bit claustrophobic now in this sort of area. And it's sort of weird how you're still in the same woods, but things are changing as you go through, and you're now in almost like yet another different biome, as it were.
I've dropped back through the ranking, just riding just ahead of Lysander.
my God.
Wait, does that mean I'm riding up front?
Truffle's leading the way with a cane.
With a cow.
we're following the path. I'm comfortable that we're following the path. I feel a little bit better about the way we're going today than I did yesterday.
Yeah, I think you yes.
I feel a little bit more confident, and I just dropped back.
And Truffle will keep looking back occasionally and just like for reassurance, but he's still on the right path.
And you know, like you can keep shouting, like, yeah, it's fine, just keep going that way.
Yeah, that's fine. I just nod. Yeah.
Yep.
Follow the path, don't stray. Watch that branch.
Oh man.
Go Simon.
It's the best.
Simon the cow.
Okay, what kind of what am I walking through? Is it look the same as it has the last couple of days?
No, like I say, this is quite different. Whereas before it was quite open everywhere, you know, the occasional bush and tree. This is now you're on a path which is really more like single file, basically. And the trees come right up to the edge, and there's a thick undergrowth in amongst the trees. So you know, if you did try to go through the the wooded area, it would be very slow going. And you hear a lot of bugs, and it's quite cool and a bit damp in the air, and just generally a bit darker than it has been recently.
Feels like mood's a bit lower in the group as well as a result of this.
It's just a bit a bit oppressive, maybe, of an atmosphere.
Morale has dropped a little bit.
Yeah. I think I said Truffle. I worry about the cart actually. If the path keeps growing narrower, we might be in a situation where we have to take this stuff with us.
So who's going to carry all your barrels? Oh wait, because there's only a few now.
No. I mean, I didn't think that much. I mean, there was that crazy first night, but I think we should be okay. It's just actually loading up all the horses, and it probably would be the first thing we need to get rid of, I guess.
Okay. Well, we can do if it gets unpassable, we'll just look in our equipment and see what's completely necessary. And I mean, we have to keep going, right? And
yeah, I guess you're right.
I mean, the horses can carry something. We haven't really put anything on our horses. We've just put them in the carts because it's easier.
I'm not sure your horse could take too much.
It's a horse. Don't worry.
But you're right. Maybe I'm just worrying. You know, I don't know why. I just feel a bit lower today. I don't know. Maybe
Stats for riding cow.
Truffle at that point is going to take out the flute and start playing a little bit of an upbeat tune, and I'm going to ask for my own roll on this one, and I'd like to roll performance to see how it impacts everyone's morale.
Go ahead, yeah.
It's a 14. How does everyone feel after my
That's pretty
flute
good.
song?
And as Truffle starts playing this song, and it's this quiet, you know, the bugs chirping, the rain starts to fall. First, little pitter patter on the leaves, and the droplet hits someone on the head, and you're like, what's that? And then the full rain.
Go in the night.
And I think we just start singing. We sing it along like this. I think it's a well-known shanty in the town, and I think I just start shouting out, you know, singing this song.
When the rains come down in Liodos.
I think it's just like. Do you know what? I think we just start laughing, and I think kind of it's just like for me, I think the tension's cracked, and you know, it's raining, everything's just getting wet.
It's unavoidable, right?
It's unavoidable, yeah. My bamboo hat, just like started.
You've got so much bamboo.
I've got so much bamboo on my hat. But I think kind of it's like a classic Asian style hat, and I could have like just imagine just like these streams of water running off of it, and it's just laughing.
Nice. Yeah, so you carry on like this for a while, and you're trudging through the woods, and the horses and cows' hooves are getting. I say it every time now. Hooves are getting clogged with mud, and it's sort of a bit slow and heavy going. But you
I can't
press
actually
on.
put her clogs onto the horse's feet, and then it would just glide over.
They're called bog clogs, but they're water. It's like water.
Yeah, so you only got two, so you have to put them like the two of the horse's hooves. Sort of skate along.
like a water boatman.
Yeah.
Guys, should I really be leading? Like this is getting.
I'm not sure there's really much more space to go, Truffle. I mean, it's really just one direction. It's either
Okay,
bad
Simon.
path here.
I take the blinkers off Simon's eyes, and I keep on trudging on. Moo.
He's like, do I need to keep up this facade?
We keep on going. I love that he's rolling his own performance roll.
Okay.
He's been cursed.
Lysander is absolutely miserable. I've got so many cloaks on, like extra cloaks and extra hoods. Like, I don't like the rain.
I cast Mage Hand to float over his head.
That's like your new catch-all like spell. I got.
I suppose it would actually, because it interacts with physical objects, doesn't it? So.
Yeah. Yeah, so
It's
Mage
a
Hand.
hand size, right?
Yeah, so
Like
it's
a
just
little,
it's not
little
big.
dry patch on the middle of your head.
Yeah, Lysander's temple becomes dry all of a sudden.
Oh, thank you,
It's what-
Truffle.
There you go.
Okay. So yeah, you
Oh yeah. Sorry, at this point as well, I probably also put up my giant umbrella that I have.
Oh my god, you literally have an umbrella.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could probably get a couple of people under there. Maybe.
Yeah, probably. So I'm riding along, but I'm not going to give it to anyone.
Just yourself.
So yeah.
Cool. So yeah, you trudge on in this slightly miserable weather, and the rain persists for at least a few hours, and it comes to early evening time, maybe 4 or 5. Day is still light, the rain is carrying on. You notice off to the side of the path this path heading off, and it's sort of a wider path, but it's not like a trodden path. It's got some paving stones which are sort of broken and sunken into the soil a bit. The sort of white stone paving stones. They're sort of leading off to the right. Sorry, the left.
Seeing the path, I can I just kind of ride round Truffle and Akane on this path?
You probably could just sort of squeeze past, like, excuse me, sort
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah. So I kind of squeeze past and I go to the bit where it splits, and I kind of look down one way and I kind of look down the other way. I get down from my horse. Is there a rock or somewhere sit by I can sit on?
Yeah, but probably there's all sorts of rocks everywhere, and
Yeah, I
things like
sit on a rock. I take some time to consider which way I think would be best, but I have no memory of this place.
You do have no memory of this place. That's true. And it just seems like you can see. You can't quite see from here, but it seems like this paved sort of path that seems to be quite old and decrepit at this point. Some trees are overgrown and sort of grown through, and the roots have like broken the stone. But you can see through the trees. It seems like there's maybe a building or something over in that direction. Maybe they're made of the same white stone.
I
Oh, thank
relay.
goodness. Shelter.
Can everyone see that? Yeah, I assume. Everyone can see
Yeah, I
it,
mean,
but-
if anyone just stopped there and looked,
Yeah.
peered through, they could see quite easily.
Yeah.
Druidar, what do your elf eyes see?
Yeah, there seems to be a building off to the side of it. I don't believe I've passed through this area before. We should go and have a look.
I think Lysander will trot ahead and be like, "Oh, shelter, please, out the way, please. It's too wet."
Yeah. But we should go. We should go after him. Can we get? Can I see if we can get the cart down here? Or is it too
Yeah,
narrow?
I've already gone. I'm following Lysander.
Yeah, you could get the cart down here. It's wider than the path that you've been on, but it's sort of got bumpy because it's got these sort of broken like flagstones on the floor. So you've sort of taken it a bit slow.
Okay. Shuffle, do you mind sticking with me? As I kind of like hold my umbrella out in the middle.
Sure.
Just while we've got to go a bit slower with this cart. I'm not sure the wheels can take too much damage.
Yes.
Yep. So we're going a bit slower.
Okay. So you're all heading down this paved path, are you?
We are heading
Yes.
down this paved path towards, I think, Lysander and Durandar. Or Lysander's leading, heading towards this kind of shelter.
So you head through, and it's sort of like this sort of archway of trees, and you're heading through, and it sort of eventually opens up, and this sort of paved path goes up to what looks like some kind of ruin. It's not a full building. The roof has gone, basically. It looks, how would I describe it? The walls have like mostly crumbled away, but it is made of this like white stone that you have the path. It's quite oddly like bright white stone, and there are some plants dotted around, but the ones within the ruin seem to have died and withered away. And there's like a clearing all around this ruin, and it's basically you go up. There's some stairs going up with like a little altar, like a not an altar, a tablet, stone tablet in the middle of it, and then it's like a round building basically with some pillars in it, and it's maybe, I don't know, 20-30 feet across.
I'm forlorn that the roof is not intact. I
Yeah.
just want to dry. I say to Druid, well, this is useless. I'm still getting wet. It's ridiculous.
Fucking hell.
If I had something to help cover you, I would gladly hand it over.
Thank you, darling.
How long did my Fortress Echo spell last, DM?
Pass. Can you ask me outside of session?
Yeah,
Unless
sure.
you guys think something specific that you want to do right now.
So I think what time is it now?
I'd say 4 o'clock.
Okay. So I guess we're just heading towards the ruin, right? And kind of we'll inspect it once we arrive. I guess you'll probably already be in there, Lysander.
Is there a yeah? I'll get off my horse.
So yeah, you're all approaching, and as you approach this building, from over to your right, behind the wall, this man comes out.
Don't like it.
And he does not miss. He's just like not immediately hostile. And it is he is an elven gentleman, and he's got these very pale eyes and hair that's like quite silvery white. He's got these sort of kind of cleric's robes, like these heavy, thick robes, of sort of like green with like creamy white as well. And he's got like long sleeves, and his hands are gloved. And he's wielding like a round wooden shield and a mace in the other hand. So he's like quite a standard cleric equipment, I guess. And like a holy symbol on a rosary chain that he's got like around his wrist. Wrapped around his wrist. And he sees you, and he's sort of like, oh, and he starts walking over. He's like, oh, travellers. Hello there. Don't get many travellers around these parts.
Yes, we're looking for shelter. We saw the building.
Shelter? Well, as you can see, I'm afraid you'll not find much of that here. The building has long since collapsed. However, you're welcome to use it in any way you seem fit, but shelter may be difficult. What brings you to these parts, may I ask? By the way, my name is Helfa. I am the cleric of Ursin.
Does that god ring a bell?
No. It is a god. It does not ring a bell to any of you.
I say, are you of the silver?
Silver? No. Do I look like one of those? And he just looks like an elf. Pointy ears, quite tall.
Yeah. I thought the silver were elfy.
So the silver.
They were covered in leaves, weren't they?
The silver. I mean,
They're
only Durandar might have encountered one, but they are like made of plants, basically.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. He's like, of course, I am no silver. I'm just a man, just an elf, just a lowly cleric doing his duty here. If you wish to make prayers, I would be happy to lead you.
What is that duty?
What is? Yeah.
Well, I'm here to keep what is left of this place. And you can see, if you go up to the front of this building where there's these stairs going up, there's this sort of like tablet in the middle of the stairs, and probably, I can't remember who looked at it, but it would be a familiar symbol is on that tablet.
Oh.
A tablet that you found at a farm not so long ago.
Yeah, it is.
And it's not the same exactly. It lacks some of the fancy swirls. It's more just like a simplistic carved design of it. But you can tell it is the same glyph. And you can see inside of this room, where the walls have sort of started to crumble down. There's this like 4 slabs of stone, like a pillar in the middle. And at the back of the room, you can see there is what looks like an altar, and the altar is chained. There are chains all over it, wrapped over it.
Oh.
I think as I'm coming in, I jump off my horse and I kind of like the umbrella over. I walk, my feet squelching through the mud, and I touch this symbol. I think I'm just inspecting this symbol.
Yeah, he walks over and he touches it as well. And he's like, "Oh, are you familiar with my lord?"
I think I've seen something similar to this in the past. Even though it's throbbing in my bag right now.
He seems like surprised.
Erotic.
Like,
Didn't we give the tablet to?
yeah, you gave it away.
A priest.
Yeah, we gave it away.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
You gave it
a raven, not
to
a raven,
Sparrow.
Barrow, yeah, we gave it to the temple. Yeah, I mean, could you tell us about these runes, these symbols?
Oh, this rune is this is the symbol of Ursin, the god. I guess that you may not have heard of him. He is often mentioned by clerics as the Forgotten God. God of the Forgotten, sometimes.
Good reason, it seems.
Clearly. And part of what I seek to do is to keep his legacy alive. There are a few places like this left around in Liodos, and it seems like nature seeks to take over and bring it to ruin, but I hope that I can at least keep it from being ransacked.
More importantly, cleric, what has happened to these withered plants outside the building? There seem to be withered nature everywhere around this building, and I'd like to know why.
Withered plants. I am unsure. I am unsure the particular reason. However, he sort of gestures with his head towards the building. You may have noticed the chained altar in there contains something which is better left chained. I believe its effects may be seeping out, causing this.
Have you seen this creature, or is it? How long has it been chained?
No creature. It's an artifact of a holy artifact, if you will.
Holy artifact of what?
Of Ursin, the Church of Ursin.
Well, why is it chained? Why is it having this effect?
You see, he sort of like reaches down and sort of wrings his hands, and he's like, "Well, you may have noticed my somewhat sallow eyes and hair. This is not normal. There was some effects that I was carrying this relic around, its keeper, and it started to have an effect on me.
Oh shit!
Is it a cinder?
And you, a cinder? What is a cinder? Like of a fire. It is.
Yes, like a
Yeah.
fire. We fought we fought a creature who had a similar decaying effect on its environment not too long ago.
Oh,
It
please
sounds like
tell me
you're
more. This is intriguing.
Well, at this point, I think I'm balancing curiosity with candor here, but
Can I
so
interject really quickly?
Yeah.
I will telepathically say to Akane, keep him talking, and then I will nip off and cast. I will start ritual casting detect magic.
So I'll talk to him, and I think one of the ways I'm going to do that is I'm going to bring him under my umbrella, and I'm going to kind of take out a scroll and some charcoal for marking, various measurements for my armor kit, and start to draw what I remember of the previous symbol. So kind of what, a triangle with a semicircle underneath it, the semicircle on top. Now it's going to be quite basic, right? So I don't know how many. I'm thinking as I write this, I don't know how many of these symbols there are, and the nuances of the lines.
And he's
So
like,
I don't know-
and once you start sketching out the basic shape, he's like, oh yes, I can clearly see. This is one of the iterations of the glyph.
And iterations of what glyph? Can you tell me more about that?
The glyph is simply the name of Ursin in his mother tongue, in the language of the Enorin, where he came from. I mean,
So and is any of this familiar to any, and me as I'm speaking? Right.
Ursin is the Forgotten God, and you guys would not have heard of him.
Yeah, and he's also called, he's also called the glyph.
What a glyph is like a shape.
Yes, a shape or a symbol.
And that is basically his name in that language, which you can't read.
The god previously known as Ursin, is that what?
Glyph Richard.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
No.
And so kind of like we can hear the rain kind of like passing down top of the umbrella as we talk about this.
It's like, look, if you have more questions, I'd be happy to answer them, but I would appreciate maybe your assistance. You seem well armed. He sort of looks across at you. He sees like Akane clearly is battle ready with her big shield and armor, and Truffle's got his crossbow, and Durindar's got his massive sword. And he's like,
Truffle's flexing as well.
if you could help me rid this place of what ails it, then I'd be happy to tell you more, or you could have a look at the altar yourself if you wish.
What
Yeah, at this
ails?
point, I-
What ails it? What do you need? What
He's
what
like-
can we do to help?
I don't know where they came from. They must have been perhaps worshippers of an older time who have found their way back here. There are some evil spirits in there. And he sort of like he puts his hand out to shush you for a minute. And then if you all close your eyes and listen, you can hear this like some sort of groaning or that sort of thing coming from inside. He's like, if you can help me rid this place of them, I will happily assist you in any way that you wish. I would do it myself, but I fear I am not that powerful alone.
Well, there's only one thing to do. Take the chains off.
Yeah, Giant Durindar's like, turn around, see you later.
Take the chains off.
Take the
It's
chains
not
off.
coming. It's not coming from the chains, is it?
I thought it was coming from inside the box.
There is something inside of the box which is chained up.
Chained up.
Like
Yeah.
an altar with something inside of it, and the
Yeah.
altar has got
Yeah, yeah.
chains all around it.
Chained up.
And you don't know
What's in the box? What's
what
in
the
the box?
box?
So we take the chains off, and we rid this place of evil.
When you say that, he just doesn't say anything. He's just like,
Oh man.
But do you want help to take the? Do you want help to rid the evil or not?
he just sort of. If you can help me rid this place of the spirits, then I will not stop you. If that's what you wish.
We have a god amongst us, and he can defeat all. And he can defeat all evil.
Simon.
Simon looks from one to the other, and he's just like, "Who do you mean? The gods walk amongst us again."
I point at whichever direction Lysander walks off in.
Oh no!
Where's Lysander doing right now?
Lysander snuck off to ritual cast detect magic.
Okay. You
He got no time for
You
you.
could probably come back at this point and say you're done with
Yeah, I come back and I'm like looking at her.
Lysander ain't got time for your shit.
What's the-
Lysander's busy
It's
doing
the,
Lysander.
it's the range of detect magic, 30 feet, right?
30 feet, yeah.
Ooh,
So I look him up and down.
it's a look off.
He's got some kind of key on him which is glowing faintly magically,
Okay.
but he doesn't have anything else on him which is magical.
I will communicate with the Carne because I did it earlier. I was like, the key he holds is magical. Can I look at the glyph on the thing that the guys were touching earlier?
Don't. We even called it a glyph. Don't do a Joe.
Big life.
You can't get a word right, man.
The glipper.
You're looking at the glyph. You're looking at the glyph, and it just appears to be a mundane stone, like a piece of stone with something carved in it. A mundane.
How far from this stone thing with the glyph and the how far away is the chained up altar from that? Ah no! It's a map.
Hell yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I haven't seen a map in a while. I don't like it.
Wow, that is a cool map.
That is a cool map. To die in.
So rather than tell you all where everything is, this is what you're looking at.
Okay.
You are down here somewhere. If you can plop your tokens on, down here
I
somewhere.
don't want to move it on.
Blop.
You can see you got this chap here standing at the bottom of the
Oh wait, how
stairs.
do you pop tokens on again?
Just
can't remember.
drag from your name onto the thing, basically.
Wait, that's just an image. That's not what I wanted to do.
How the hell did you manage that?
I grab.
Let me do
Well,
it.
if-
Let me do
That'll
it for
do.
you. Let me do it for you.
I can't.
I'll be
I
like,
can't-
has anyone noticed the picture of Truffle on the stairs? Truffle, look, poster.
Truffle truly is a god.
Trouble
I
with
know,
God.
I've done the same thing.
Guy from the right. Grab your
Right.
character sheet
Right.
and pull your character sheet onto it.
Right, here we go. Everyone's here. Garland's here.
Oh, good stuff.
There we go.
Check out Michelle. There's posters of Mad Max. Not Mad Max. Magic Mike.
So this is where you are. You're basically at the bottom of the stairs addressing him. He's on the stairs talking to you about.
There's the altar in the back, and the thing on the middle has the glyph on it. Okay, Lysander, what were you saying to me?
I mentally whispered that his key is magical, and then I was just wondering how far away. So you guys, this is the stone thing with the name in the middle, yeah?
This.
Sorry, down there, right? Oh, okay, wow. So the altar's like back here. Okay, so I'll look around and I'll just say, so shall we have a look inside? I think I've been away. I've been like over here for this conversation, like, so I haven't heard anything about anything.
Yeah, so I guess when you get back, I'm like, well, the crux of it, Lysander, is that there's something bad contained within the altar. You know, the cleric here would like us, the cleric of Ursin would like us to help him get rid of it. And I assume it's got something to do with those, you know, those chains that kind of bind it. I guess, cleric, what would be the benefit of us getting rid of this?
So please
What would-
call me Halfar.
So how far? What would happen?
Well, you would assist me in clearing out a place of God, and if you want to access the relic, you're welcome to. I can give you any knowledge that I have, or cast any kind of spells if you require. Cleric,
Are you able
religious
to
spells.
dispel? Are you able to dispel magic, curses, and the like?
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Depends if he's a
I bet she's so fit. It's like a fit squirrel.
sexy female goblin.
Such a sexy goblin. Oh, Bone Town.
He's like, I'm afraid I'm unable to.
Oh,
These are not words that I've heard from Ursin in my life.
Well, perhaps we should take a look inside, cautiously.
Oh, I can tell you what you'll find inside. There are evil spirits within. and they will attack you if you go inside.
Okay, well,
Inside the box.
I step aside after you.
And he's like, well, I will happily lead the way, but if you assist me, that would...
Okay, I think I entered denial stance at this point and walk in.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, I think my eyes start glowing and kind of like the vapor just starts to evaporate off me. The rain doesn't really seem to hit my skin or armor anymore.
So it sizzles.
Dude.
Okay, so we'll do like a free turn for you guys, and then roll initiative.
Sounds good. I'm kind of hoping people are following me.
I would like to use stealth to start doing shit. Can I stealth in? I'd like to roll stealth.
Yeah, it's like there's
Stealth
gaps
me.
here, isn't there? that you
I don't
can
know,
make
can
away.
you? Did you tell me what you can do?
Oh, sorry. I'd like to roll stealth, please.
Can I also stealth in, please? I would also like to stealth.
Anyone who's trying to proceed stealth, please roll stealth. Truffle's
Oh,
going to It's pretty good rolls. I think that's probably going to succeed, I would imagine.
I
That's
will.
16 for
I will also stealth in, but from the side.
Yeah, I'm going this way. Yonder, yeah. Basically, we're flanking.
But I roll a natural 1. Plus
Stick a
5.
tree.
Durandar knocks over some rocks and it makes a loud noise.
Actually, I would go with Durandar because he's a bit beefier.
Garland. What's Garland doing?
I smile.
He'll follow Truff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You smile and trip over and give away our position.
What can he do? Let me pop out his sheet.
Garland punch.
Garland.
Yeah.
Garland, man. Garland just punches things up. Punches with bunches.
Garland smash.
Sorry, magic users.
Got it.
Dust off the old spellbook. See what we got here.
Just off the old combat soundtrack.
Actually, I think he would have before Durandar walked off. He would have asked you to just hold your weapon out, and he would just sort of like put his hands on it, and it would glow for a moment, and then it would be just sort of like it would stop glowing, but you feel it sort of tingling in your hands, and you cast a magic weapon on it, which is basically makes it a +1 for an hour, or until he loses concentration.
Oh, Adam, I can't hear the music. That's a shame.
Can you not?
Oh, I can hear the mellow.
Atmospheric. Yeah.
Yeah, it's atmospheric right now.
And then he just walks up behind Akane, basically.
Yes, boy. As I imagine everyone falling in. Do.
Where's my initiative tracker?
Let's do this.
Delete all of those. Okay, everybody, please roll initiative. It is time.
Oh yeah. Let's do this.
Roll, guys.
Add all to queue.
You all start advancing on this building, and you can hear these sort of rasping growls and groans, and you see within there are these spectral forms hovering around, trying to stay within the shadow of these walls. Oh shit, son.
Oh yeah.
So epic.
There it is. There it is.
Okay, we all good?
Yeah.
And Garland.
I'm
And
gonna be fucked with Emmett
And
Brown
Squirrel.
over there.
What about Mr. Squirrel?
Emmett Brown. Mr.
On
Squirrel
by
is
21
terrified.
gigawatts.
Alright. Oh shit, Garland's first. Okay.
Garland, do it.
Garland springs into action somehow. And
He's got springs in his feet.
1, 2. He's going to stand by Truffle and hold an action to attack if anything attacks Truffle.
Aww.
And then
I'm gonna hold my action to protect the squirrel.
these guys pop out some more sheets.
Is how far coming with us?
How far's right? He's like hot on your heels, basically, on a cannon.
Nice.
Well, they can fly 50 feet. Okay.
Oh,
Jeez.
just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
Where is my... There we go. Oh, okay. Come at me, bro.
And then this guy. So, you see these spectral forms hovering over these, it's like lifting themselves up over these sort of rocks, these broken walls, looking down at you. Akane, what do you do?
This
is a doorway in front of you, in case you didn't catch that bit.
That's 1, 10 feet. 15. Is this thing here just like lower down?
Yeah, it's just like a slightly raised, like a foot off the ground, basically.
Okay. 20, 25, 30. I'm gonna run in there with this music, and like I guess I just slide, and I get there, and I just kind of umbrella on my back. I just like shout like, "Come at me!" And I go dodge action.
Nice.
Come at me, dodge. Dab.
I ready myself. My muscles tauten.
Dab, wiry lady muscles.
Durindar.
I'm a pacifist.
I assume we can reach these guys even though they're floating.
Yeah, he's only floating like maybe just above your head, sort of thing.
Okay. I see this guy, and I move over, and I already have my greatsword in hands. But then I look back at Lysander, and I move back over here, and that's it.
What?
Good and bad.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Yep.
As you turn your back.
As you turn your back, this thing claws across your back with these. You feel this icy cold
Why did
feeling
you go that
right
close?
across you. You went right next to it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Roll a Constitution saving throw. Okay. You're fine, but you do take 10 necrotic damage.
10?
Whoa.
Holy shit.
SpaghettiOs.
I take a bonus action. My eyes start to hiss, and smoke
Your eyes
starts
hiss?
coming out. Yeah, they like they start burning, and
Snakes coming out of his eyes.
and hair starts growing down my arms, and I start to curl up and start to get really angry about these bloody nails that have just scratched me like a little bitch, and I begin to rage.
But you've done that before.
Yeah, good point. Thanks for that.
He's committed to the RP, man.
Nice.
Give him inspiration.
This guy is gonna. Oh, we'll hover over to Akane as the closest person. And give you a good clawing.
You can try.
Chug, chug, chug.
That's 10. So yeah, you're obviously ready for this thing, and its incorporeal hands are trying to like claw at you, but you sort of like not quite managing to fully bash it away, but you're sort of half dodging, half pushing this weird sort of like not quite corporeal hands at you.
Yeah, I imagine it's quite. I'm just like, it's how heavy is it? I guess it's quite like a really strong wind trying to just get in.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't know it hasn't any weight. You're just like trying to push this thing, and you're like not quite, but you're managing to bash it away somehow.
Magic shield, baby.
Magic shield, Lysander.
Magic.
Was my stealth roll successful?
Yes.
I know I've put myself out in the open, but
Yes,
you know.
you're hidden. Currently.
Okay, I'm hidden behind Druindar. I will combat roll, pop out, and
Yeah, you will.
roll and give it 2 black bolts right to the face. Well, I try to.
2.
Oh no, 1. Sorry, yeah, I'm getting my characters mixed up. I give it 1, 1 black bolt.
Not yet, boy.
With advantage, yes.
Yes.
Hey, might actually hit. Critical! I forgot to cast Hex on it, but oh well. Okay, so that's
It's too bad.
max damage.
Oh!
That's 20.
Holy shit. Max damage.
How?
It's gone from weeks of not hitting anything.
I know, right?
You just see Lysander slide out of this hiding spot, and he just, and instead of this little black bolt, it's like a this blast of black energy. And Akana, you see this flash out of the corner of your eye, and you're like, what the
Oh
fuck?
yeah, just the shadow, just like like a reverse strobe light, and I just hit this crack, like under the thunder.
And this
then
thing
I
is just
will-
like, it's like wispy tendrils, and then it sort of just about manages to reform itself.
Oh shit! And then I will after the roll, I will get up and spin and put myself behind cover here.
Oh, that was so BA. Just in my head, Lysander slides out on this wet mud, and then gets
It's like
back in cover.
One of my cloaks comes off at the same time.
Yes!
Oh,
Yes!
and it stays in the air.
Yes! Yes!
That's my turn. That'll do.
Oh my
Max
god.
damage crit will do.
Guys don't look at explosions. I mean, you walked away.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Just jizzed in my pants. Okay. Chug, 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 chug. Alright, what does this thing do?
Chug. God, I love that generic rock.
Yeah, I know, it's so generic.
Chord progression, then chord progression, then drum beat slowly, then building tempo, then extra beats. Chug, 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 chug.
Mate,
Okay, this one up here, it reaches a hand out towards Akane. Can you make a strength check for me, please?
Oh man, pump it. Oh. Yikes. You die.
You're too busy deflecting this other one, and this thing reaches out, and you like turn around, you quickly try and hold yourself in place, but you suddenly feel your feet lifted off the ground, and you're flung back over towards this wall over here.
Shit, son. Oh no, he's wearing stuff.
And you take 6 bludgeoning damage, or the equivalent of.
So I take 0 because I lose my temporary hit points with my denial stance, and then I got my unrivaled resilience.
Yeah,
So,
so you
I
see
get
she
all-
slams against this wall.
All
and
of,
this,
all of vapor just goes.
yeah.
I lose all of this like vapor shield around my body.
And you're just prone on the floor right now.
Oh, okay.
Shit. Ta-ta.
I think I'm more surprised than anything. I'm like, what?
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 Truffle.
Yeah.
So seeing that, Truffle screams no, leaps over the wall and runs to this point, and then pulls out the trusty wand out of his wand sheath. His wand, his flute out of his flute sheath, his fleece.
One sheet.
And plays this high-pitched whistle, and I will cast Bane at level 2, and all of these jamokes, 1, 2, 3, and 4, need to make a charisma saving throw, please.
What are you doing, sir?
Casting Bane at level 2. On all of these
Level 2?
jamokes.
What does it do
Yes.
at level 2?
It just means that I can add another person, so it's 4 instead of 3. That's all it really means.
Do left to right. Left is fail, fail, fail,
15 is the
fail. They all fail.
excellent. So they all need to have a -4 on their rolls of damage.
Oh, I love it when you give me more admin, Chris. It's my favourite part. of
Yay!
this.
Mathematics! And then I'm going to use the remainder of my run to run back.
Bonus action hide.
And then bonus action hide!
You did not have that much movement left, surely.
I've got 30, it's 15 and 15.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
15,
7.
15.
Well, that's difficult terrain.
Okay,
Three,
okay,
4,
okay.
5. Oh, you were here? Okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Okay,
4.
don't worry. I will not bonus action hide then in that case.
Basically, you
completely-
cannot get all the way back there.
That's fair. That is fair. I will put myself.
You could
Like
hide
here?
behind like this, or yeah.
Okay.
Or...
Okay, cool. If I can't bonus action hide though, can I? Probably not from. I'll stay here and I'll just. That'll be my. I will bonus action. Oh no! I will bonus action use increase my speed to using my keepsake flute to use 15 additional feet of movement to get back around here.
Okay. The old keepsake flute.
I fucking love that keepsake flute. All right, and that is my turn.
There's a lot of blowing in that turn.
Just like running on
And I use my keepsake kazoo.
That's my go.
Okay, cool. How far will do something?
Chain lightning. Blow them all up. Almost a divinity move, isn't it?
He will cast Sacred Flame on the one that he'll move up to here and then cast Sacred Flame on the nearest one.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah, he
going to
will.
be a Wisdom save? No, Dex save. And it fails. Man, I'm failing like everything right now.
Yay!
Which is Sacred Flame. I don't know how much damage. You're 1d8. Four damage. Okay, so you see him running out, and he pulls out his this like rosary beads around his wrist and holds it up, and the light shines out of it, and you see this thing suddenly wreathed in this white flames, screeching in agony. Garland is next.
Fuck him up, Garland.
4, 5. He runs over to this one,
Oh, it makes it.
punches
Punch
it.
Big time.
Classic.
Would he do
Imagine
that?
him-
Would he do that, or would he stay near Truffle? I think he'd probably stay near Truffle, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, you tell us.
Hey, you're the character.
I think he actually would probably stay and try and protect you. He's still ready in action if something comes near.
Is the squirrel still on his shoulder?
Well, I don't know. If you want the squirrel to die, we'll bring it out into combat. For
No,
you.
the squirrel is at miles away.
Look, I've got 4 monsters with Bay and 2 NPCs to think about right now. I don't care about the fucking squirrel.
A fair point.
This thing is going to float over to the nearest creature, and it will use its attack, minus a d4. It's a natural 20.
Yeah.
Doesn't that auto hit though?
It does.
Yeah.
So
I think that ignores Bane, I'm sure.
Yeah, it does. A critical hit is a hit, regardless.
On Garland.
on Garland, yes.
What do you get for?
This might be bad actually.
God, we can't. Can you imagine if Garland died?
I mean, he's already pretty broken, isn't he? We'll just sell him for parts. Oh fuck.
22 on Constitution save. He's okay. Alright, so this thing reaches down, and you see this ghostly hand with these almost like talon-like fingers reach into the glowing core in Garland's chest, and just like make clench a fist, and the light in his chest just goes out, and he crumples to the floor.
That doesn't sound okay.
Garland!
If he'd failed the save, he would be permanently dead.
Oh my god.
This one over here is going to float over towards the nearest person, who is Druindar, and attack for
I don't want to play this game anymore.
18, which I believe
Is a hit.
you got 16. Okay, so that's 6 necrotic damage. Make Constitution save.
Easy to roll 4d6 and drop the lowest.
You're fine. Okay, so you took just 6 necrotic damage.
And that includes half damage. Or is it three?
I am not taking into account your guys' modifiers. I
Okay,
trust
so
you to do that
that's
for
three.
me.
That's 3 damage.
Yeah. Like Joe's temporary hit points, your resistance.
Yeah.
I can't keep
okay.
track of that stuff. So.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
So that's that, and we're back to the top of the round. Oh no, we're at the top of the round. So there's a Kane is next.
Oh, kill them all. Oh man, Garland.
Just had the wind knocked out of you, and you're on your hands and knees.
So I'm looking around. I think as I get up as well, I rip my kind of hat off, which is hanging off the back of my neck, and I just throw it to the ground. All of a sudden, I reignite this kind of vapor cloak around me, and my eyes start to give off that white, kind of pure white as well. And I head back into the fight, walking this time, a bit more cautious. And I just kind of approach this monster here, or this floating spectral spirit, and just like point my umbrella at it. Let's say dodge this. Basically doing a charge shield attack.
Nice.
18 to hit.
That hits, yeah.
10.
Oh, it's force damage, right?
I think it might be psychic. Hang on, bear with me.
I think it's force damage.
Oh, why did you put a cross on Garland?
Because he's knocked out.
Because he's unconscious.
Oh, there's other icons, I'm sure.
You can't deal, can you?
Just put Tweety birds around his head.
Oh yeah, wisdom multiplier force damage.
And I could do this one.
Ooh.
10 force damage, okay.
10 force damage.
So yeah, you see it, you just unleash this massive blast of energy, wreathing this thing in this white bright light. It's like parts of it like sort of almost evaporate away, but it's still left there, floating before you. Anything else from Akane?
No. End my turn.
Druindar, you've just been raked for a second time with these icy death fingers. What do you do?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd plunge my giant greatsword into him and see if I can take a big fat chunk out of the
Nice.
little bitch scratching me on while I'm trying to protect someone else. Little dick.
So much rage.
Lysander don't need protecting, boy.
What a prick. Oh, and I roll a natural 1.
Yeah, even with your magical weapon, that's not going to do it, I'm afraid.
I'm a little bit damaged on my shoulder, and I look over to Lysander, and I just pretend nothing happened, and I just hold my sword back, and I look as if I was just ready to take more damage to protect. Can I move after I've done that?
You can, but you'll provoke an opportunity attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay where I am. Lysander can look after himself. As soon as that black
that
bolt
is
came
your
out, I
right.
was like,
Could well be that you're so distracted by Lysander's awesome power
yeah,
that
that's probably what it was.
You weren't.
Awesome is not that. Awesome doesn't even begin to describe it.
I'm still, my hair's blowing in the wind. There's no wind.
There is wind, it's raining, man. This is like epic fight. We're in the rain, dudes.
This thing is just going to keep trying to attack Akane. Does not manage to hit you again. You keep like managing to bat this thing or dodge out of its. Like it's slowly trying to rake at you, and you just sort of push it away as you with the side of your umbrella. It doesn't manage to get you. Lysander.
I will, from my back against the wall, I will do an unnecessary spin over to here.
Yes! Tom
and
Cruise.
come up with a backhand black bolt towards.
Can I make you start doing like acrobatics rolls in a minute?
Backhand!
Oh.
Straight up Skelliger.
And I will give it a classic black bolt, not advantage. That's a 19.
Oh.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That is a 7 force damage.
Okay. So yeah, as Durindar, you like go to try and swing at this thing, and you miss. You look over at Lysander, and you just see him do this spin and fire this bolt at this creature again. And that's another huge one, and just smacks it right in the chest, and just explodes in this blast of energy, and just evaporates. There's nothing left of it after the bolt is gone.
In the rain as well, man. That's so cool.
And then, after seeing that, I will, having heard Truffles shout out, I will use the rest of my movement to try and make my way over there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And that will be the end of my turn.
Okay.
Right, when it's my turn, someone start this track again, because I'm going into it.
You bring out all the instruments.
This thing is just gonna float over, right up into the air, and see what it can see. And it sees all these people outside, and it's gonna go for Lysander.
Ah!
Jesus. Lysander.
1, 2. It's up in the air right now, and it will. You have to make a strength check, please.
Oh man, you're so tough and strong.
I mean, I'm definitely going to make this. I got a -2 in strength. Oh, it's a 16!
Shit, son. Yeah,
I'll take it.
You see this thing reach out and almost like some waves of some invisible power, or when it tries to grab you, but you sort of plant yourself, and it doesn't, like, it tries to pick you up off the ground, but you're sort of like grabbing the grass and like forcing yourself down as hard as you can, and it doesn't manage to pick you up.
I'll take it.
I hate being wet.
And it just like screeches out.
You're like, ah.
Oh shit. I only just read that thing's invisible. You don't see what's happening to you. But something is trying to grab you.
Okay.
And you're having none of it.
Are they all invisible?
No, just that one. Truffle.
Is Garland's on is he on death saves?
Garland's on death saves.
So I'm gonna bonus action. Still got the flute in one hand, don't worry about it. I'm gonna bonus action flute my boy over some bardic inspiration. So I'm gonna give him a bardic inspiration dice.
Can you inspire someone who's unconscious?
It is part of my keepsake flute. I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can hear the music. And one of the things is on saving throws, right? Or is that death saving throws different to saving throws?
I think it's different.
Okay.
That's the first time I ever encountered this, so I don't know.
No, I was just curious. Like,
You know where it's in film, so it's like come to the light and you can hear the music when like in a coma.
yeah, that's kind of my thing. But if you don't want to, if it's not allowed on,
Fine, yeah, just do it, and I'll find out later.
cool. So bardically inspire a sleep guy. Play that sad song, and then
So,
I am going to cast invisibility on Garland.
okay.
So that he's not attacked again. I think that's what Griffin would do. See that like his boy is down and try and give him some space. And then I'm gonna run 30 foot towards Lysander, which will get me. Let's assume will get me like here. And that is my go.
Cool. Okay. How far is gonna run over towards this thing that just he saw out of the corner of his eye, took down Garland, and he will actually he can't see Garland, so he doesn't know where he is to heal him, so he's just gonna go for a swing at the creature, which hits. You see it's like this mace swings with furious power, and it just sort of passes through the creature, but there's like trails of this sort of like undeath energy sort of evaporate off of it. It doesn't seem to be fully effective. Garland, is it D8 or D6 for you? It's D6, right? You're
Bardic. D6.
okay. He saves. Number 1 is a save.
Boy. Don't do this to me. I'll be so disappointed. I don't like D&D. This is like Adam and Blend's torture game. Kill.
You all came here out of your own free will.
You and Jordan or Martin will have a lovely dinner party together, you sick fucks. Oh, what? It's their fan favourite? Let's kill it.
And you know what? People fucking love Game of Thrones.
I know they do. I know they do.
This guy is going to attack. Who is he? He's going to attack Hellfire. Whew. So, 12 necrotic damagios. You see Hellfire. Oh, he fails his save as well. You see, like his skin start to like draw, and his eyes are like seem to go sunken a bit. And he seems to like stagger a bit as this thing saps the energy straight from him. Akane.
I'm looking over my shoulder at how far, but I don't, kind of, the rain's coming down, visibility's not good. Dealing with this thing in front of me, and so I'm going to try and blast it again with my shield. It's a 25.
That'll hit.
Oh, and it was a 9. So yeah, again, like you just hear this kind of like you just see kind of the vapor just like condense into my skin, and then just get channeled up my umbrella.
Nice. You see this vapor just like condense into a blast, and then the center of this umbrella just blasts out towards this thing like a cone, and then when the cone is gone, there is nothing left. The creature is dead.
Oh yes. Scoured that wall clean.
Yeah, it's like a little like shadow on the wall from what you just
yes. I'm like, good riddance. And I run outside. 1, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I scream to Truffle like, what's happening?
He's dead!
And on that cliff hanger, my go is finished. I don't know who's dead.
I'm assuming that this is raised. I can't click on it. Why can't I click on it?
Hold it.
This bit on the oh yeah, this bit is raised, right? Can I walk over that, or is it raised? In which case I can't.
That's stairs, which is like
Yeah, so-
probably about 8 to 10 feet up at the top of the stairs.
Okay, in which case I shall run around it. 30 and end up here.
Like, oh, my Sander, get out of the way.
And that's as far as I can go.
Everyone's peering over Truffle.
Okay. Lysander?
I will ask Truffle, like, what's happened?
He's dead!
And then I will step round him, get line of sight on this thing, and then run. And as I'm running, I will black bolt it.
Knock it out of the park. Come on, Jose, can say go.
26.
Oh, run and gun.
1 force damage.
Oh, no way.
Right in the field.
Just sort of skints across its shoulder and it just sort of growls at you.
And then I will 25 use the rest of my movement to kind of go down and get my back against it. How high is this?
5 feet.
Rock. Yeah, I would just like kind of duck down behind it. Great line of sight. And that's my turn.
Truffle, make a strength save. Strength check.
One. Save.
Strength check.
Check. Oh, it's stealth. Not that one. Where is it? Here we go. Oh god, that's the worst one for me. Okay. 12?
Minus.
I have -3 in stealth, yeah. That's
Minus 3 plus 1.
I have that stupid
Oh, Bard, Jack of all trades.
yeah.
That's for skills, not strength checks.
No, I have something. I've got some like stupid cape It gives me something, or I can't remember what. Or you gate. You've got me very confused. Call it 11 while I work it out.
Okay, either way, you feel a force pick you up and fling you away over towards this wall, slamming you against it. Ugh. You fall to the ground prone, and you take 6 bludgeoning damage. And now it's Truffle's turn.
Very odd.
You'd probably use Jack of all trades.
Yeah, I think it is. Cool. All right. Well, Truffle is going to use half his movement to stand up, and then he's going to take a hand crossbow and shoot it at the guy with a +1 bolt, and then he's going to use what's it called? Bardic Inspiration on himself to give himself a what's it called? D6. So that's gonna happen.
All the dice, all the modifiers.
So that's 60, 17.
Yes, that hits.
Yeah, it does. Big time. You know what I'm saying? Take out 10 pitching damage.
It's gonna hit how far?
Sorry, it's 11 because
Yeah.
he's got like +1 bolt, hasn't he?
So yeah, you see your bolt just... There's like a small gap appears in this thing and then just reforms
Can
back
we
up
just say,
again.
but when they do a film version of this, it's the Kevin Costner arrow from the Robin Hood series when it goes through him. Like a rubbish GoPro on the back of it.
Okay. I don't remember that, but yes.
And then that's everything because I used my bonus action Bardic Inspiration, didn't I say? That is me.
How far is gonna... I guess he will just continue attacking, probably, is what
Yeah, he
do.
will.
Hiya! And you see again, he manages to connect with this thing, but it doesn't seem to do much actual damage to it. You can see he's like furiously concentrating and swiping with this big heavy maul. Garland.
Ooh.
If he used his Bardic Inspire,
Yes.
bollocks.
There's only so many bonuses you can have, Chris.
Well, I've got loads of Bardic Inspiration dice. Remember, I'm gonna keep throwing them at
Good
him.
lord.
Like a casino in Reno.
Okay, here we go. This thingy is just left, and he's going to attack Hellfire again. Poor old Hellfire's getting a rough job of it over here. Does make his Constitution save though.
He's not a fan favourite, to be fair.
You see him, and he's looking pretty.
Oh no.
What?
No, it's like, oh no. I actually care about how far.
Okay, Akane.
So I think I'm gonna head back in. I'm seeing this. I can see this exchange going on. I head back in. I look at how far. I see he's in a bit of a mess. And so I make these quick hand symbols, and I hold the last one, and this obsidian kind of stone skin armor starts to sprout out around him.
Nice.
And it gives him his 1d6 plus wisdom, well 1d8 plus wisdom modifier. So let's just throw a d8.
Pretty strong.
1. Plus 5, so 6 additional temporary hit points for how far?
It's like pieces of rock just start sprouting out of him.
Yeah, it's always like it starts kind of. I do that and it kind of this trickle of just like it's quick. It's like literally 1 millisecond. Just obsidian like across the floor hits him. As it starts to hit him, it starts to cool up his body. But this isn't my strongest. I don't think this is the strongest one I've ever cast. So it's quite patchy in places. But yeah, reinforces him, I guess.
It's been a while since.
Been a while.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually been a while. Yeah. You know, kind of moving the hair out my face as rain comes down, and I think I'm going to end my turn there.
Durandar.
Right. In the absence of being able to get to anyone very quickly, I move out of here, and I take one of the javelins out of my pack and I launch it at this dude. Well, I try to do that anyway. Oh,
Nice.
it's
That's a
a
hit.
20. It's a good throw.
That's a good throw.
Which lands us 13 piercing damage. It plunges. Oh well, I suppose it goes straight through this dude and hits the wall. But
that's an attack roll, not a damage roll.
oh crap, that's an attack roll.
Got to click the word javelin.
I did click the word javelin. Does it hit?
Well, you've got the 20 and the 12 under there. It's got the word javelin. You click that. It does the damage.
On the chat.
In the chat window.
Oh yeah, but does it hit? It hits.
Yes,
20 hits. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. So 6 damage.
And that includes the +3 that it adds to it. Yeah, as a because it says 1d6 +3 piercing.
Yeah,
I'm
you
assuming
roll
that
for
is-
it,
It
yeah.
automatically adds that on. Yeah.
Yeah, that was 3 damage plus 3 strength.
Okay. So yeah, you see Durandar heave this javelin, goes through this thing and clangs into the wall behind it. But the thing is still taking a lot of damage, but it's still there, still alive or undead. Lysander.
I will pop up
Yeah.
5 foot wall and guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to pop up and give
Cast
a Black Bolt.
Eldritch. I mean Black Bolt.
11.
Oh, it's just not enough. I'm afraid your Black Bolt maybe fizzles out in the rain before it reaches your target.
I hate rain! And then I duck back down.
Who's getting it today? Lysander, make another strength check for me.
I don't think I'm going to be that lucky this time. Sorry, strength check.
Yes.
Not strength saving throw. Oh, I mean it's potato. 5!
You are flung over towards this tree, smacking into the trunk.
Down a cliff.
You hear a crack of branches and almost the trunk itself cracking. You take
Oh shit.
14 bludgeoning damage.
Oh,
I'm severely, I'm like, spit out a bit of blood, and as I fall to the floor.
Don't worry, I can totally.
you know in Harry Potter when he gets blasted and his leg comes out as he kind of just whirls in the air.
Yeah.
I imagine it's been like that. He just like cracks into this tree.
Nice.
Yikes.
I stand here.
Trueflay.
Truffle snaps his head back from seeing Lysander smacked into a foliage, and takes a shot with the bow of cross with a normal bolt for a 21,
Okay.
and then a 5, and then a fury of the small to make that 9,
Okay.
and that is my go. No. Bonus action, right behind there.
Can we resolve the attack?
And then I have to stealth.
Wait, can I resolve the attack before you
Oh, sorry.
do everything
Sorry.
else?
Yeah, sorry, there you go. I don't know, I can't hide anyway.
Fucking hell.
My character basically shoots and dives into the bush.
Yes, you shoot the thing and finally this bolt passes through its head and it doesn't manage to recoalesce and it just dissipates into nothingness.
And I didn't see any of that because I was diving into a bush.
You didn't see any of it because you were diving into a bush, yes. However, you're still in initiative. There's still something around. How far is not really sure what's going on. He's looking around and he's holding a sacred flame, like in his hand, sort of waiting to cast it on something as soon as he gets a chance. Garland.
Don't. I don't like it, no.
I mean, you could have healed him, but no, you made him invisible, so no one can heal him. In fact, if anything happens to him, it's on you.
You did best.
No, I don't think Truffle can deal with that.
To be fair, Truffle would have done it in his own way because he thinks it's helping, and it will eat him up until the day he dies. Now,
Akane, you're all aware there's something around that's been tossing you all this way and that, but you haven't seen it.
Yeah, so I'm. How far is the cone of my shield? 10 foot. So, no, I would ready it. I think I would just I'd look at how far, I'd see that he's looking around. I would also be aware of something around. I would ready a charge shield attack for if something appeared within 10 feet of me. So you just see the shield like throbbing with light as I'm looking around. Like, the hair's just flicking across my face, it's raining. End my go. Actually, can I just, before I end, I'm just like, there's something else in here!
At which point I leg it up to this Gab, having noticed that Halfar's also in a bit of a bad way and Lysander's kind of out of harm right now. And my sword is ready. My blood
Out
is
of harm.
rusty.
He's been thrown out of harm.
Yeah,
It's broken his ribs.
Yeah.
yeah, but we need to sort this out. My rusty, blunt sword of death is ready.
Nice. Lysander?
Is taking a look around a check, an action, or is it a free action?
I mean, you can have a free action if you're just looking.
Would I need to roll perception?
If you're specifically looking something, then yeah, you will need to do perception. But if you're just going, kind of what can I see, then it's free.
Okay, alright, so I will have to spend half my movement to get up and then go 5, 10, 15. I've still got detect magic up. Do I see anything within 30 feet?
Maybe you should roll a concentration check.
I should have. Is it a concentration?
Yeah.
I think so.
So
Kind of
would you roll? Did you roll
It is
Constitution?
concentration. It is
If it's
concentration.
something you got up, then surely it's concentration.
Yeah, no, it's totally concentration. I need to start marking myself.
it's 10 minutes as well, isn't it?
Is a Constitution saving throw. That's a natural 20.
Shit.
So yeah, do I see anything within 30 feet? So I will mark 30 feet is
Nothing. Shouldn't have been in a tree then, should you?
any of these squares that I'm touching. I don't know whether invisible creatures even show up on detect magic.
I don't know. The answer is
Doro, zone of truth. Is anyone here? Yes. No.
Just trying to think how else we could find it.
Throw rock. Flour! Has anyone got a bag of flour?
Didn't you buy a load of flour?
I did. Oh
got
shit, I
flour.
think I did for that very reason.
We made a batter out of it for the fish earlier.
Oh. That delicious fish will be our doom.
Yeah, so I imagine like we're all kind of there, like it's like that scene in Batman. Where are you? Who's like kind of.
oh my god. I don't know the answer.
Make a rule, dude. You're in charge. I think anything.
You would get the impression that there is something up in the air, about 25-30 feet away, like
Okay.
in this sort of area.
Okay.
Maybe like a shimmer but it's not like a magic, like something that is magical. You know, like there's something there, but
I will shout out with my raspy breath. It's over there, and it's just roughly. You have no fucking idea. I'm just like pointing. Like I don't even know if anyone can see me. How high is this?
it's 5 feet.
Oh, it's all 5 foot. Okay, well maybe I don't even know if you can hear me. Anyway, that's the end of my turn. I'm just pointing at the sky. You know?
Cool. Make another strength check.
Yes, sir.
Oh no.
16.
Oh,
Heyo.
and you would not believe some of the unbelievably low rolls that the GM roll has given me. You guys are pretty lucky. You resist it. You once again you know it's coming, and you're ready for it, and you plant yourself, and it doesn't manage to move you.
I see you, you bastard.
Who's next? Truffle.
Right, so Truffle is going to hop over this little wall. Flute, if he needs to get to this spot where Garland was. And then he's going to cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
I mean, you can't see him.
I know where he is. I can feel him. Or I'm feeling right.
You're like patting around on the floor. Oh, there he is.
I take my bonus action to fumble around to where he was to find it. Do I find him? If not,
Actually, we probably should have done a concentration check for your invisibility, right? As well, because you took damage.
And also with the rain, we kind of battering off the body.
Don't ask me that question right now. Cast Cure Wounds, please. I just had another really difficult question. I'm not dealing with that right now.
sorry. Cure Wounds, 2nd level. It is
2d8 plus charisma.
Plus spell, yeah. Okay. And then you wanted me to do a concentration check.
Regardless,
Concentration. Am I being stupid? Where is concentration?
it is.
It's a con, is it?
Can't save, yeah.
Aha.
And it is,
Wow!
it's 10 or it's the higher of 10 or half of the damage you took.
Okay, so 13 on the invisible man.
Okay, Invisible Man is back conscious. Oh well, he can't breathe, but you know.
Boop, 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 boop.
You see the light thrum back inside of him.
When the Terminator comes back in T2, just
Yeah, just it's like his faceplate is blank, and then you just see the red lights just suddenly reappear again.
start
You
of
would,
noise.
had I not succeeded on my concentration. You see nothing, but you can feel it.
Oh, you're leaving the invisibility up still, okay?
I am.
Indefinitely.
So worried about him.
How far?
Okay.
That's the next. He is going to. He tries to cast Sacred Flame at the spot where Lysander pointed. And there's like a little puff of Sacred Flame in the air. Nothing happens. Garland is invisible.
Punches and punches.
He gets up to his feet, but you can't see. And he's like, Truffle, what is going on? Are
You're
you
invisible.
okay? Are you
Yeah.
okay?
Are you okay? We don't have time for this.
We only got 6 seconds.
He just turns, so he's like back to back with Truffle. He's just like looking around.
Punch me, yeah.
Akane,
Just spin.
So I guess I step outside the front door then.
Front door.
The front door. And I see Lysander, I think, kind of looking at Blank's face. I'm just kind of looking at where he's looking at. And I guess I just send a cone. I just I just fire my shield like 10 feet in front of me. I can't even. Yeah.
Okay.
So all of a sudden you just hear this like, as all the light disappears for like a split second. Then
Yeah, you see Akane send a blast and the rain evaporates off and nothing seems to happen.
Oh, what can we do?
This is great.
Apart from Zone of Truth, all I can do is everything is within range that I can see.
So, okay, so this is interesting. So I moved here. How high did you say this thing was floating, Blend?
You can't see it.
So we don't know how high it's floating. Okay, so I can't. Well, a question then. How do I link? Oh, okay. I cast Entangle. It has a 90-foot range, so I cast it where I stand.
Okay.
And it covers a 20-foot square radius, which I would like to go up rather than out, if that makes sense. But I'm not sure whether it affects height, because I've looked for this online while we were taking turns, and I cannot find
It's 20 foot
anything.
square, not 20 foot cube. So it has to be.
So
I think it has to
therefore
be
it
on a.
won't
I
affect
think it
height.
has to be on a surface, basically.
In which case, I don't do that. I stand looking up, looking rather confused at this point, and then
I think at most you could do it on like a wall or a ceiling, but I don't think you could do like a literal, like a big.
in
cube
which
of
case,
vines.
I stop there for a minute and I look up, and I don't know what to do about that. So I move over here to be closer to Lysander, and at the same time I grab a javelin and I throw it up into the air, about here.
Okay.
It's like battleships.
It is like battleships at this point. You throw a javelin, and it just soars up into
throw
the
my
air.
javelin in this square here,
Yeah.
in the air. But that includes this square and this square, you
Yes.
know, given that it goes up diagonally.
I'll give you that.
And I do that I get a 13, which would be if it hit anything. No, that's not right. Which would be
There's no.
five
Nothing
piercing
happens.
damage.
You don't hit it.
No, nothing happens. Okay, my javelin just
It just
misses a,
and it just
misses
clatters
a
somewhere
carne
at the
by-
back of the church.
Yeah, and I'm like, gotta go get that back.
Yeah, only got a couple of those.
Like when you hit a tennis ball over the fence, am I right?
Oh fucking hell. Alright, Lysander, any ideas?
I will 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I will, and then 30. I will look around, seeing everyone's just looking up at the sky, and I will shout to anyone who's listening, "The altar! Has that got anything to do with it? Maybe if we destroy the altar." And that's the end of my turn.
Oh. Who's gonna get this time?
Oh.
Just hit Lysander.
Uh,
Anyway.
Durindar, make a strength check, please.
Oh, that's a saving throw. My bad.
I don't know if there's any difference, but it just
not?
specifically says a check, so I don't know.
It depends if you've got
D20
proficiency
plus 5 is your strength save. So what is your strength?
Yeah, so it would be different for you because you're proficient, right? So it would you
in,
have
so
to.
just -2.
Yeah. Okay. What's the monster getting? 18. So Durindar, you fling this javelin up in the air, and then suddenly, whoop! You are tossed up into the air, and then you just fall back to the ground where you were, and then you take 8 before modifier bludgeoning damage.
I get up looking a bit confused and shrug off and get another javelin out.
Okay. Right. Who's next? Truffle.
I'm gonna run to the altar using my dash. Well, not dash, the keepsake flute. You know, it's blowing away. And with the altar, does it look like it can be pushed over?
That's not the
or
altar.
moved?
I think the altar's back here.
That's not the altar.
Right,
That
where is
the
it?
altar.
I imagine Truffle right up and going, ah! Pushing this pillar in the middle.
Oh, sorry. No, I'll run to there then. And then, if I'm there, in that case, and this is very meta, but could I use a perception with disadvantage to see if I can hear any movement against a stealth check from your side?
How are you the one imposing disadvantage here?
Asking. What, on myself?
Chris, you need to play a DM games of DM, man. So know what this is like.
Trying to work out how you would perceive something that's.
Tell me what you want to do, and I will tell you what you need.
I
want to
listen to see if I can hear anything. Like I can't have sight,
Okay.
but whether I can hear movement.
Yes, you may
or
make a
voice
perception check. Yes,
Okay.
as an action.
That is my action.
Did you dash to get there though?
No.
You strain, but against the clang of, other people moving around and the rain and Drindar being tossed up into the air, there's too much noise and you can't hear anything else that indicates movement.
That's my go.
Okay, how far? He is, what is he going to do? I think he will move up towards the altar. And he's going to stand there, and then he closes his eyes and holds his hands up to his rosary. And then around him, a bunch of spectral forms appear and look like knights with swords and shields, wearing armour, and they sort of just in a ring around him. And he opens his eyes, readies his battle stance. Garland yells over his Truffle. Truffle, what should I do? He just sort of like looks around and just sort of hides behind the corner of the wall.
Correct.
Akane.
So I'm going to use the dash action based on what Lysander said. So he told me before that he has a magic key on him, which I assume opens a magic lock. So I'm going to dash 40 feet to how far? I'm like, how far? We need to open the altar. Give me the key.
No.
Yeah, I think he can't really do it right now. He might respond on his turn. Durindar.
Well, if everyone's going to the altar, then I head up to here, and that's
So-
the end of my turn.
Trip over Garland on your way in.
Who is still invisible, right? Still.
Yeah, why not?
Lysander?
So, okay, I'm gonna post this. So the wording of this spell, Dissonant Whispers, you whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear. It doesn't say it requires sight.
Cool. Okay.
So I'm just kind of hoping that I'm gonna think about this spectre and within 60 feet and just whisper into the wind. Well,
Okay. Let's see. And that's wisdom.
And a DC 15 wisdom saving throw.
It's a natural 20. So how much damage is it on a save?
On a failed save, it takes
3d6 psychic.
So it takes half of if roll 20 was to roll. It takes 5 damage. 5 psychic
it does.
damage.
Okay. And I will give you this. From just to the left of where Truffle is, you hear a shriek of agony.
Oh shit.
Agony shriek. Agony shriek. Hope they can see where that came from.
With disadvantage.
With disadvantage.
In that case, Lysander, you're going to make a strength check.
Classic.
Natural 20 coming up.
Okay, strength check. That's a 12. See, guys.
Lysander is flung against this archway, collapses at the top of the steps. Roll 20. Takes 11 bludgeoning damage.
See,
My bones crack and I fall unconscious.
got it. I don't care about you as long as Garland survives.
Can I, for effect, can I roll 5 feet down to here?
Yes.
Down the stairs.
Okay.
Rain hitting you now, lifeless cheeks.
Got fucking midges in the house. Pardon me, it's close to the window.
Is this how Lysander ends? Being flung around like a ragdoll?
Around his body.
Sexy K-pop ragdoll.
K-pop ragdoll, and I've sent everyone indoors.
Truthful?
I'm gonna say, at the sound of a scream, Truffle lets out a panic shot. Literally wherever it came from.
Okay, there's a bit attack at disadvantage.
That's fine. I think that's fair.
Rules.
I think that's...
I'm glad you agree with my ruling.
It's not how I would allow it.
I'll allow it. Bugger, that was a nice original shot. That's
Oh.
11. Into the air.
You don't get the sense that it connected with anything.
Oh wait, can I use a Bardic Inspiration dice to... Can I use a Bardic Inspiration dice on that?
Is it before or after you know the result of the hit?
You can't use that on yourself. We just went over this.
Oh yeah, we did just discuss that. Yeah, I realised that now. Bugger. I would like to...
Yeah, haven't you done that loads of times?
No, I did it once, and then Adam reminded me, and it well upset me. And then I did it again because I didn't listen. So okay.
Orcs. So orcs.
Yeah. So I shot into the air. Hopefully, it scared it out of its mind.
Oh
Scared its
dear me.
death.
Okay.
That's the go.
Halfar is going to, seeing where all of this action is happening, he is going to reach out with his hand and he casts a guiding bolt at the creature. Which apparently did nothing. Why you do nothing? I'm just going to roll a d20.
I'm literally like, how far are you the keys? Like, ignored.
Oh shit, sorry, yeah.
Bonus action, chuck him a key.
He needs to...
Bonus action.
That's my key.
Which key?
Right.
He's got a ringlet of them. He's got like 12 keys on there. 6 seconds per key.
He just looks at you and he's like... How do you know about the key? And then just turns back and casts this guiding bolt. which will actually hit. How much damage does it do?
Want my tits back now. Whoa!
What?
Stuff.
So you see him, and this shining bolt of energy comes out of his hand, and it wreathes this thing, and there's like this swirling sort of like lights just sort of start ringing where the creature was, and it's still invisible, but the lights are kind of showing you where it is. The next person who attacks it will have advantage, negating their disadvantage, which will be a normal hit basically.
Hello.
That's 17. And it is Garland.
Garland, end it.
He's like,
Didn't see.
no, Lysander! And he clambers up here and he tries to stabilize you. He's like patting you with like fumbling hands, like trying to.
Clear!
Just made it worse.
Smush the wound, break it.
He's just like crunching and cracking under his hands. Akane.
So I guess I'm going to immediately just run up and just try and charge shield to attack the spot where I thought I saw the raid blast. As how fast guiding bolt hit it? So that's a 24. Well, is that normal attack or
That's advantage,
get
disadvantage,
advantage.
so they cancel each other out.
Yeah.
24? Charge shield 13.
Oh shit. That's a big boy blast. So yeah,
Oh yeah.
you
Cocked
see,
my
you
brother for
see
it.
finally where this guiding bolt's indicated this thing. You ready your shield and put all of your energy into it, and the thing just vaporizes. And you see for a second this shadow of this creature like screeching in agony, in the middle of this blast, and then just the rain.
Oh. This vapor's just kind of licking the air coming off my skin.
Halfar's like, oh, your friend, we must tend to him. He runs over to Lysander. Just pushes you all out the way, like, no! Get out of the way! And he casts I think he's got Cure Wounds. Or I guess it's Healing Word for him.
I hold my umbrella over.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you're going to get...
I just want to roll a 1 death save just to see what would happen.
Yeah, feel free. Probably would take a
Well,
death
he's-
save.
Oh no! Eee.
While he's doing his cure wounds, Truffle's also gonna try and show off a little bit with his cure wounds.
So he's like, he starts speaking this in these words that you don't understand. But Lysander, you hear it in your subconscious, and it brings you back to life. Your eyes flicker open. You're healed.
And Truffle yells, "Babadoo, babadoo, babadoo, ba!" and then hits you with 13 points of healing.
BAM!
Shablow!
Glad I heal!
I look around and I'm like, is it gone?
Yeah, I killed it.
It is over.
We got it.
Thank you for your
We got it.
sacrifice, my friend.
Sit up.
Says, no, do not rush yourself. Please take time. And he gets out a water skin and hands it to you. He's like, just please drink, rest.
Thank you.
He's like holding you up and sort of like trying to make sure you're not wounded and stuff.
Stand up, leaning on my cane heavily. This is when I really miss Jenkins. Okay, I just go and maybe have a lean against this thing.
So I guess we're all gathered under my umbrella.
Yeah. Under this archway. Oh man.
So how far? And I see Lysander, but I don't think I want to be passing over him. So how far? What's next? What's in that altar?
He's like, you can see he is like visibly, his face is drawn because he got like sapped by these things. He's just like, what is next? If you wish to see inside, I suppose I cannot stop you, though I would urge you otherwise. However, the tome contained within, I doubt you will be able to read the text. I can read it for you, or I can give you what I remember from it, so you don't have to open the altar.
Yeah, give me. What does it say now and then?
Well,
Hey.
I would prefer it stay shut, but it does seem that it's, as you can tell from the plants around, that what I've done here is not holding, and may not hold forever.
Lysander's ears prick up. What tome?
The tome, well, it is... It's called the Narana Lume, or it may be more commonly known as the Book of Guidance. It's like a sort of religious text that they followed in the old Enoran religion when they worshipped Ursin, back in the days before he was forgot.
Who is it written by?
Well, it was written by various clerics who, well, no one is ever sure of these things, but they say that they knew him or met him back when he lived amongst us mortals.
I would very much like to see this tome.
If you must, I can only urge you to caution. And one of his hands, he takes off the glove, the hand with like the rosary on it. He takes off the rosary, takes off the glove, and it's all like wrapped in bandages. And he starts like unfurling some of these bandages, and you can see that his hand is like decaying and like going white and pale, almost zombie-like. And he's like, this is what it did to me. I would not wish that on anyone else. Dumbledore hand.
I would very much like to try.
Lysander, no, we can't. This is. You see
I
what it's
can't,
done.
I need
See
to
what it's
try.
done to Halfar's hand.
I need to try.
One question though, before you open it, I guess, why is this book so corrupt? Why is it doing this? Was it always like this?
I do not know. I have been a cleric of Ursin for as long as I can remember. And it is only in recent years that it seems to have had an effect. At first, it was just enough to ignore, like a small nagging, a slight numbness at the tips of my fingers. Eventually, it became worse, and I knew that I had to do something. I sought out a case to keep it in. It did not do enough. It still managed to harm me, so I kept it here in the altar, in the stone. I placed it in a null box, and I wrapped it in chains of Ardelinum. But, as you can see, it is not enough. He starts wrapping his hand back up and puts his glove back on. I do not know if this is Ursin's work himself or something that is attacking him, or I don't know. But if you must see what is inside, he pulls out this ornate key of this like shimmering metal, and it's like sort of like platinum, but sort of got this almost like internal like rainbow effect within it. It sort of like shimmers in the light. And he's like, well, if you wish the key, then you may take it. I will bother you no further.
I will take the key. I will step forward, squeeze through everyone.
Okay.
We'll let
I
him pass.
follow.
Well, Lysander, don't do this.
I'm sorry, Akane. It's something I need to do.
It will age you. It will kill you.
I'm gonna keep walking.
Ooh, I'm gonna slowly follow.
This could be the blight.
Do you have eyes of the thingy so you can read stuff?
Grave, eyes of a grave.
Eyes of the Runekeeper. I do not have Eyes of the Runekeeper.
Ooh.
I will get to here, and I'll turn back, and I'll just be like, please, I ask that you all give me a moment. And I will turn and go into my bag and pull something out, and just put my mask on.
Drugs. It's drugs.
Drugs. And then I will say, I'll reach forward and unlock it.
Yeah, so you walk. So just to set the scene, you walk up to this altar, and in the center of it, it's got the glyph that you've seen before. It's like this big white stone thing with like these fluted mini columns at the side, and this ornate scroll work that sort of spirals all the way around it, starting from the top, going to the bottom. And it's in this. It seems like it's in this same text that is this glyph, but like, you know, smaller and like actual long sentences. And all wrapped around it are chains with links, like huge links like this size, thickness of your finger, of this shimmering metal that you called ardenum, and it's wrapped all the way around, and it's sort of like there are like big I don't know what you call them, where it's sort of like hit things that are hit into the ground that keep it in place, and on top is this big, huge, ornate padlock, basically.
Delicious.
Like a golden little filigree and this ardernum covering.
I think just before I put the key in, I'll stop and I'll close my eyes and just ask into the void. Is this what you wanted? Is this what you need?
There's like a pause for a minute, and it's never very quick when you speak to him. But you get this response that is basically, I can't see inside. It is... I am blind to what is within that box. And now I'm curious.
Click.
Party wipe.
Yeah, so you undo the lock, and the chains click out and start to fall to the ground, clanking to the floor. And we're going to pick it up next time.
Oh no!
I knew you were gonna do it. I knew you were gonna do it.
Oh my god, no!
I'm
What's in
way
that
back.
box?
Yes.
I'm way back. I'm not going anywhere near that
Man,
box.
it's a loot box. You got custom skins in there.
Oh my god,
Dude,
there's a legendary in that box.
I'm old enough, man. Like, don't let that shit aging me anymore.
Oh man, Truffle's gonna double his age. He's gonna be what, 18.
So you've got dog years.
Ah, dear.
That was very
Drink
high.
food.
Well,
Oh. You...
how do we feel about this encounter?
Bit anxious, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really debilitated us, didn't it? Kind of. We've got blind spots in the party that I think we're starting to find as we.
Yeah, we all need to walk around with bags of flour in our pockets.
Yeah, we really need a wizard.
I don't know, like, I don't know how you can deal with an invisible creature, really. Unless you do something to, like, put something on it.
Well, it'd be like a dispel magic.
Like when you're fighting Priscilla and you, like, chuck a throwing knife at her so you can see her she's wandering around. Dark Souls.
Yeah. You
Like,
could,
because
yeah,
detect
you can-
magic.
It's like a
the area.
knife sticking out of her butt, and you're just like, oh, there you are.
Yeah, detect magic doesn't
It
work.
just does the area, doesn't it? Yeah.
Well, I read online.
I mean, you
afterwards,
could
I
do,
was
like,
Yeah, I was doing exactly the same.
You could do
Dispel
AoE
magic.
spells. Or Fairy
AoE.
Fire. That's...
Fairy Fire.
Oh, bugger! I did have that on one of my characters. What was it on?
It was on Druid, Mr.
That
Druid.
was it. Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome. I'm
Yeah, man.
sweaty with heat and
Anticipation.
anticipation.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
that's going to bother me. I can't believe I've got to wait a bloody 2
Fortnite.
sodding weeks.
Fortnite.
I'm a little bit annoyed. Not gonna lie.
Fortnite for Dan to create like 20 different variants of what could be in that box and then roll that 3d20.
Oh my god.
I already know what's in that box.
Oh,
Then tell us.
No!
It's another squirrel. It's a squirrel, isn't it?
It's a really badass, dangerous squirrel.
Okay, I mean,
It's some nuts that the squirrel has hoarded.
in case you want any of these words,
Yeah, so Ardenium, Naran Lune, Narana Lune,
yeah, Narana Lume is the holy book.
Book of Guidance. The Vault of Stiladar.
The religion was the Anoran religion, or the people of the Anor, basically. What was the other thing?
Where we're going to, the Vault of Stiladar.
So, right.
okay.
Okay, yes, we'll wrap up the stream now. We can take the little notey things offline. But thank you very much for anyone who's been watching. We'll be back. I don't know if we're doing the session 0 online next week, so
I don't think they are.
I think
No.
yes.
Session 0? What are you talking about?
Session 0, yes, we may have other things coming up. I don't know if we're going to be doing it on this stream or if we're going to be hosting
We will
this
be doing
stream. But
We will be doing it on the stream, I believe.
okay, cool, that's fine. So we'll be back on Tuesday, the question mark 2nd of June, I believe. That'll be our next day, and then we're back to the normal schedule, I believe. So thank you very much to anyone who's been watching. Thank you, my friends, for being lovely players, and I will see you all next time.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, everyone.
Guys.
I'll do not